Hello, everybody, and welcome to the TARDIS Zone Talks. And we are here for the Power of the Doctor review. Wow, well, I could say that was a bit emotional, but overall, the same issues that we have with every Chris Chibnall story. Actually, lack a story, lack of plot. We'll get into it. We'll deep dive. Obviously, the panel will be giving their views. I will give my views at a later date. I need to digest all of this and maybe watch it again because I'm pretty sure I probably recorded it because I did have a serious link. So if I haven't removed that, it should be there. So I'll probably watch it a second time and see if there's anything I missed because this thing is all over the place is all I'm going to say. But let's bring on our panel because we have a lot of people. I have sent out emails. I see some people saying that I haven't sent you an email. So people that have asked to come on, I've sent an email. I'm just waiting on a couple of emails from a couple of people. If you haven't received an email, I'm about to send Lee his email again. I think my computer has gone through some issues, so it could be just the fact that it's slow because we have had technical difficulties. But you are the first email I sent, which is weird because everybody else got theirs. I think that's my computer telling me that it doesn't like you, Lee. I'm sorry, but that's just how it goes. I'm sorry. Anyway, let's bring on our panel because we've got a big panel coming on, and we'll probably have some people leaving, and then we might add a few people. We'll see what happens. Obviously, we're going to try to keep everybody here for as long as we can. Real Super Doctor is here. Okay, just making sure. Can I get an email? My friend says the Wolf and the Storm. Yeah, if you just bear with me, I gave you it's Scott. Your email's already sent to you, mate. I sent you your email already there. So if you check your email, your computer is homophobic, says Lee. This is going to be a fascinating stream because Lee has a few drinks on him, so God knows where this is going to go. But let's do this. Let's bring on our guest. So our first guest on tonight, from all the way from the shed of dread, it's the one and only Gobby Guy. Welcome. Nice to have you here.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Nice to be here.
Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Just get everybody. Let's get relaxed. Everybody get relaxed now and nice and ready for this. Our next guest is the one and only Real Super Doctor.
Hey, no.
My avatar is not working apparently. Who gives two craps? My avatar is not working. You all can see me, so that's the main thing. Oh, hear me. That's the main thing. But I will fix that. Oh my God, I'm going to choke here. I will fix that now in a minute. But thank you, Chris. He says I'm oppressed. Lee, I sent you an email, mate. Stop playing the victim, right? You're getting as bad as those bleeding Tazzies. Right? They're all gutted now. Do you notice that I've only got 66 people watching this one? Because when they realised they didn't get the kiss, they were going to come in and give us all a load of stick to wear and say that we're all homophobic, but it didn't happen now, so they can't. Anyway, let's bring on our next guest. It's Cinnamon Jodie's toast. Oh, for fuck's sake.
It's done. We're saved. It's over. You didn't get your kiss. Didn't get your kiss.
Jack, if you're listening as well, I've sent you your email as well. I'm just waiting on other people. Listen, Wolf and Storm, I'll send you that now as well. I think we will have space. Don't worry about it. I think we will have space. So our next guest is he's a problem. It's Mr. Being himself.
All right, mate.
Wait till we get everybody on before you start losing the plot completely. Okay, please. PD, just wait for a minute because Lee is going to go off. I want to see Lee's being distracting me, man. He literally has me head puzzled right here. Don't know who's sending emails there. Lee. What were you drinking?
Calm down.
Lee, what were you drinking tonight?
The wonderful Jack Daniel's original recipe, Tennessee honey, finely crafted honey liqueur from the makers of Jack Daniel's Tennessee whiskey.
Right, so basically you're drinking the tipple that I'm drinking. So you basically robbed my drink because that's what I was drinking the last stream.
Go fuck yourself. Okay. I had it.
PJ, again, check your email there. come on, stop screaming. I agree. He'll be getting a red card.
We're already in the chat, you know.
Please,
We're already
come
in
on.
the chat.
Nobody will stay. Nobody will stay if there's constant screaming and people talking over each other. All right, this isn't other channels out here. All right, we respect each other here, and everybody's opinion and giving everybody a chance to fucking talk. Anyway, our next guest is I don't know because this studio is filling up something so fierce here now that I can't fucking see. Right, yeah, here we go. Our next guest is the one and only Jack. He's just down as Jack this time.
Hey! I was just about to say he's the link.
Our next guest is the one and only PD Rich.
It's like a massive weight has just been lifted from my heart.
And he was on the last stream. I wanted to leave him to last, but technically he won't be because there'll be other people arriving. But he is last on this section. What?
Where's Melina?
Where's Melina?
Yes, that's what I said. Did you right? See this. Now, see, Gobby Guy heard me. That's why he's nodding now. Gobby actually heard what I said.
Yeah, I did.
Right?
It's amazing.
I don't know what I have. I don't know what Melina's email address is because I don't know if she's changed it because I put her name in and it's not coming up. So if you want to send her the link, Lee, which I know you can do, you do that.
Oh, okay, I can do that.
Good man. Our next guest is the rabbi from another planet. And this is going to be brilliant.
I got to say goodbye because I got to go to my stream. But it's a night of celebration. Everybody's, I think everyone's hanging out on everybody else's streams. It's fantastic. She's gone. It's over.
Hey!
They fucking forgot it, right? They forgot the timeless child. They forgot Yasmin. They forgot everything because it's all garbage. I got to run. Thank you for having me on, though. It's lovely to be here. I hope to be
lovely
back.
being with you, Rabbi, again.
All right, tune up him, everybody.
Hello, bye.
Cheers, Rabbi. Thanks for coming on. Right,
Sweet.
so we can send. Still not got that email now. I sent it to the. I'll send it again, but I have actually sent it, Scott. I've actually sent it twice there. Check your spam. It might have went into your spam. Because it happens with Charlotte sometimes. So check your spam, but I will send it again. And Wolfenstorm, I'm going to send it to you. And I have sent, because I know there's someone else supposed to be coming on. JWC Reviews asked to come on.
Melina, if you're out there, I can see you're online on WhatsApp. So just confirm that you've got it.
Who am I sending the email to? Oh, yes, Scott again. Right, so Scott, there you go. The one that you gave me, the SD one, you know what I'm talking about with the 31 in it, but that's all we'll say because we don't want to give the rest of it away. So I've sent it again. So check your spam if you don't get it, and I have to send one to the Wolf and the Storm. Because we like to have a bit of female representation on this channel. So we'll have Melina as well. So we'll have two ladies who this era was supposed to pander to. And we will find out what they have to say.
I can't reach the cookies and I want cookies because I haven't had
You can't reach your cookies and you want a cooker.
Aww.
I've just got to
go and sort the cookie kid out.
In a minute.
Go and sort the cookie kid out. Go on. You know, kids
that's
are
adorable. That's adorable.
That is, wasn't it? That was. I can't reach the cookies. Love it. I love it. We were all that once. I don't know why we're laughing. We were all that once.
No, I just took the cookies. I don't care. Cookies mine.
Right, so Wolf and the Storm, your email has also been sent. So if I have forgotten anybody, right, and I've texted one or two people that were supposed to be coming on Twitter there now, asking for your email. So if you pop into the chat, I'll remind if I see your name popping up anyway, I will.
Melina's got the link, so she should be with
right,
us.
well, we'll wait for Melina and we'll wait for the Wolf and the Storm, and then that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That'll be 9. And then if JWC Reviews checks his
Bless you, whoever that was.
Bless you.
Yeah,
Gesundheit.
Gesundheit, mein Herr.
Or if you're in the
Gesundheit.
chat, JWC, if you're in the chat, I sent you a message on Twitter to let me know what your email is. I don't know if I actually have your email. I'll have to check because we did have you on the channel before, I think. So pretty sure. It's been obviously it's a while, but I think we did. I'll just double check again because I don't want to leave anybody out.
Cheers, everyone. Cheers, everyone.
So is everybody? So everybody's had a few minutes to digest everything. So before we actually get in, but before we get into the episode itself, obviously this is the end of 5 years of hell.
Music to my ears.
So
to all of our ears, my friend, to all of our ears.
Yeah.
Jason Peace says, I can't speak.
Sing it, Daddy.
Yeah, sing it then.
We've got the Wolf in the Storm with us.
Hey.
Hey. We're just waiting on Melina to come in. Now, I'm just going to say, right, listen, before we start this, we're not going to talk about what the fans of this era have done. This is not what the purpose this is, right? This is not a chance for us to all have a dig at these kids, right? At the end of the day, it's over now. They didn't get what they wanted either, so they're all going to be cursing and absolutely live it now online. Let them tear themselves apart, right? We're just here to concentrate on the episode itself, and that's all we're talking about. We're not going to deviate from that. And one last thing, Gobby's doing the small violin because that's what we think. You know, we don't give two shits. But anyway, just one final warning again, because I have to say it again because there is a few people that are drunk, and rightly so. But remember, everybody, we've got 9 panelists. We're probably going to have 10 people on the panel, so 9 guests. So everybody has to get the word in, and we're going to be here all fucking night. You get me? So no cutting across. Let everybody whoever I ask to speak, let them speak, and then I'll get the next person. And if you want to add on to that, or wait until everybody gets their opinion out there, and then we can all discuss and then pick up certain points that other people have picked up on. Is that okay with everybody?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here she is. You know, because we have to have the representation on the channel. So we got 2 women. So we got Melina.
Welcome back to the fold, my friend. Welcome back.
Hola.
Nice to see you back.
Hola.
Nice to see you back. Right. So let's see. I just want to make sure now before we start. Right, we're good. Unless I get a message, then I'll just keep an eye on my phone. Right, let's get into this anyway. We've got 80 people watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And the big thing here is I actually should have put a banner up. There's going to be spoilers galore, but if you had to watch the watch along anyway, it would have been spoiled. And to be quite honest with you, if you didn't watch it live, right, unless you hadn't got it in your country, Melina was able to find it. You know, she made the effort to try to find it. So if you haven't seen it, I'd actually say tough shit, to be quite honest with you. But I will put on the screen, because I don't want any person coming in here crying, oh, you've spoiled it, right? There you go. I've added the banner there now, right? And it's gonna say, there you go, spoilers, right? Spoilers, right? That's it. So if you don't want to hear what happened in the episode, get your asses out and come back another day. And thank you for hopping in. If not, let's bring it on and let's get straight into this. So we'll start with the first person on the panel, which is Gobby Guy. Gobby.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, you want me to talk about it now? Oh,
yeah. Your initial, I mean, you don't have to go into too much detail with this one, and then when everybody adds theirs, then you can obviously mull into whatever annoyed you about it. I'll tell you what, this is how we normally do it. Give me something that you enjoyed about the episode, and something that you didn't.
Right, something I enjoyed. Sasha Dewan as the master. something I didn't enjoy absolutely every fucking piece after it.
Right. Now we'll do that with everybody. So Bobby, right. So that's how we're going to do this initial part. So, real super doctor, same thing. Give me one thing you enjoyed and one thing you didn't.
The one thing I enjoyed was Sacha Dhawan. Because he was he done the Delgado. He can conveyed himself. He really pulled off the part very good.
Right.
With Master.
One bad thing.
One bad thing, I would think Jodie's performances were terrible.
We'll get into that, but thank you for that one, Jack. One good thing and one bad thing about tonight's episode.
One good thing was David's few seconds at the end. Just immediately took me back to my childhood. I was like, wow, the Doctor's back. And also, just another quick one, the 7th Doctor talking with Ace, that was amazing.
Yeah.
I nearly teared up. I nearly teared up.
I was crying. I had to knock the camera off. I don't care, but I did. I actually bawled like a baby.
Now we've gone back to the fake one again. Damn it. What was bad? Everything else.
Okay, this seems to be a running pattern. Now let's see if we can make it short and sweet with Lee. Lee, buddy, don't let me down. Everybody's being short and sweet. One good thing and one bad thing, please, without the screaming, please. Fingers crossed and toes crossed.
Sausage Dhawan as the Master.
That's a good thing or bad thing?
That's a good thing. As the sort of mad monk thing, I like that.
Right.
Even though he's still too cute.
Well, you did say that. Yeah. Shooty. Seeing Shooty in the trailer.
His first words that we get to see as the Doctor are, "Oh my god, like what's happening?" Like, "Oh my god." It just the way he said it was just not good. Not good. I'm done. He's got a lot to prove. But hey, that's an editing choice. I'm not going to blame it on his performance. We'll have to wait and see.
Right. Cinnamon Jodie's toast, which is a mouthful, and I'm not saying that all night, man. So, like, you know, I'm just going to call you Cinnamon Toast Crunch because that's how I know you.
Play on words. She's dead now. I don't like to speak.
Right.
Well,
so
normally I don't like to speak ill of the dead.
One good thing and one bad thing.
Well, tonight you'll probably find that I probably am the one with the most unpopular opinions, but there's a few that I did like. But just to name one, it almost felt like, as crazy as it was, that Chibnall actually was a bit more grounded, and I'll explain that a little bit later. But yeah, I felt he was grounded in terms. One bad thing, there's still plot threads that were left unanswered. That'll carry on.
Listen, he just ignored them, but we'll get into that. You're right. PD, you two, one good thing, one bad thing.
I'll go for bad first. So we talk with bad, it's probably a lot easier. Bad, the convoluted plot was all over the place, and even I couldn't understand it.
Yeah.
Good. That regeneration. God, it's so good to see David Tennant's face again. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get into that because that is actually my favourite. The cameos were emotional, but that David Tennant bit at the end, I'll get into it myself, but I love that. The Wolf and the Storm, one good thing and bad thing about tonight's episode.
Good thing seeing the old doctors and old companions, David included. When I saw David at the end, I was, oh my God. When I saw David at the end, I was like screaming.
Yeah.
It has been so long. I felt literally, Gabi, I get it. It felt like a weight just came off my shoulders.
Tried getting in now, but the first attempt on getting on the panel, but not having much luck. Well, there is one more space, mate. So I don't know how that's not happening, but if you can try get in, we'll try get you on if you want to keep trying there. But go on, Wolf and the Storm. I just seen the comment there. I had to address it there. Go ahead.
And I mean, there were lots of bad things. I'll just pick one from the list. Talk. Jodie is the queen of telling and not showing, and that shit gets really annoying real fast. Because I would rather be able to experience what's going on with her and her going into something and being like, oh my God, wow, what is all this? And instead of her just explaining everything like a fucking teacher in front of everybody. It's just old. Real old.
Yeah.
Melina.
Hey.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yay.
Well, I gotta say that one thing I liked was Sasha. I thought he was pretty good as a master, and I want just added parenthesis. I hope RTD keeps him for a little while, and what else? Some of the bits were exciting. I think there were moments where I gave credit to Chibnall that. The cameos in the show in the past Doctors, I thought that was pretty good. And Ace with Sylvester McCoy, that little scene together, I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
But this is right after this is the negative thing. It angers me so much that every time I think that Chibnall is doing something good, he messes it up again. And he just throws a mess. It's like all this run, it feels like he doesn't know exactly what he wants. He starts out good, and then it's just he loses his way completely. And when you lose your way, then you're supposed to be the guide, the captain of the ship, and everybody in the ship doesn't know what to do. And that's with Jodie. Jodie was all over the place, and not to be mean, but well, the best performance she did was actually her regeneration, honestly.
Melina, do you feel that Jodie Whittaker was like a passenger in her own story?
Yeah, I didn't feel like she was leading. I didn't feel like she was the lead. I didn't feel like she wasn't
the lead in this episode. This was the Masters episode.
Exactly.
Let's make this clear. She was not the lead of our own episode. But let's get into the nitty gritty, and we will start off with Melina as she's kind of gone into it. But let's make it clear. This wasn't. Everybody is the great question by Lee. I was gonna actually ask that, but Lee got there before me because he can't help himself. I should just make him be fucking co-host. You know what I mean? At this stage, I should just make it official. But anyway, I would agree with that. Yeah, go ahead, Melina, because I think that is a good point. I mean, the fact that the best parts of this story were the parts she wasn't in says a lot.
Yeah, like just with the sarcasm and funny bits aside, I mean, if you think about it, it's actually really sad because this is her last episode, and make it the last hurrah, like, okay, this is it, Jodie, do your best, but it's just she wasn't leading, she wasn't the lead, and then the one who was taking over the ship was Sasha Dewan, and the rest, with Ace and all the past Doctors showing up. Now Joe Martin stole the show for me. I got excited when I saw Joe Martin. I know it's not a very popular opinion, but I love Joe Martin's Doctor. I think she's pretty good. I mean, she's. I would have preferred her instead of Jodie, but she even stole the show, and the rest was just so bland. The interaction between Mandip and Jodie was bland. Jodie, Mandip was. I'm sorry, she's really bad actress. She just stood there with her mouth open with a tear on her cheek. That's all she ever did was to stand there. I'm sorry, it's true.
No.
But
no, it's true.
But I just feel like Chibnall had an idea. He said, okay, this is gonna be good, and it started out pretty good, but he just lost absolute control. And then when it's losing control, everybody doesn't know what to do. And Jodie was just like Wolf in the Storm said, she's just a blah 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 blah, all this explanation, all this lot of talk. And I'm sorry, but that's not what makes the Doctor. What makes the Doctor is what you do with your actions, not just a lot of talk. And that's what it felt to me. It felt like Chibnall was like, let's just make the Doctor explain everything, because that's what the Doctor is. He's a genius, he needs to explain everything. No, it doesn't go like that. but it's sad, it's bittersweet for me, believe it or not, because again, as someone who is such a annoying fangirl of things, that everything Doctor Who, everything I enjoyed every single thing about it, and not enjoying this last bit, with Jodie was sad. But I'm sorry to go a little bit deeper on this, but the one thing I'm actually enjoying, but this is probably in another topic, is that it's over.
Yes.
Completely
finally
over. And
yes.
again, not being sarcastic or any, I'm actually really happy that it's over. And let me tell you something. When you go to Twitter, people are not even talking about Jodie. What they're talking about? Ncuti and David. People have forgotten about Jodie. And I knew that was going to happen. I absolutely knew that. Now it's now it's David and Ncuti. David and Ncuti. Everybody. It's flooded. That's what's flooding the timeline. And this is the part that I was actually waiting for. And again, not to sound mean, but this is what I was waiting for. I just wanted to be over. Completely.
Everyone was here for the last 5 minutes, really. That's what they were mostly.
Well, go on, Lee. Give us your opinion so we can get it out your system, mate.
Hold on. Can I just get comfortable? Hold on a minute.
Yeah, get comfortable for this one, because this one is going to be mad and mental. But if you could do me a favor, give your opinion, but just keep the screaming down, because I've got a bit of a headache now. I have to watch that hour and a half.
No more screaming.
Grant. Right, but go ahead. Give us your opinion on this final episode. Jodie Whittaker's farewell.
All this proved to me was Chris Chibnall cannot write an episode to save his fucking life.
Yeah.
This was a convoluted mess of epic proportions. It wanted to try and please everybody, but please nobody at the same time. It threw everything, including the kitchen sink, at this to try and win everyone over. And ultimately, it just failed. I mean, can anyone here in this panel, in the chat, explain to me what the fucking Daleks were doing? What the Cyber Masters were doing? What the Master's plan actually was? He wanted to become the Doctor. Why?
They didn't.
Was it
They were
because of
just
the
there.
infinite regeneration energy? What?
They were just there. They were just there. They were just there, like the classic companions, just cameos. That's all they were. They were just cameos, mate. Stick all the monsters in.
How did Ace and Tegan meet? Was that explained? No. Graham turning up in Bolivia in the fucking middle of a volcano. Explained? No. Why Ryan wasn't there? No. Just like all these questions, and no one reacted to Graham turning up out of nowhere either. Vinda turning up, explained. No. Timeless Child, explained. No.
No, it wasn't. They didn't explain that either. So does that mean? So what does that mean? Is that the Timeless Child whole thing scrapped now because he hasn't explained it?
What happened here? Wait. What happened here was Chris Chibnall lost his nerve. He lost his nerve.
Yeah, well, he lost his nerve a long time ago.
Well, yeah, but on this particular thing, he lost his nerve. Now, I understand that Melina enjoyed the performance of Jo Martin here. I just thought she was awful. She looked completely out of place. There was no explanation as to why she was there. No explanation.
Well, they did actually explain. They did explain it. They did explain it. Actually,
not to me. I didn't pick it up.
Well, you weren't listening because you kept talking, but they did explain that one.
No, you're ahead of us and spoiling everything, so I couldn't hear it.
It's not Chris Chibnall's fault that you didn't fucking bother opening your fucking ears, man.
So where was she in the canon? Where is she? Okay, no. Tell me, where is she? Where is she in the canon then? Come on, Noel, tell me.
Jo Martin.
Yeah.
No, I'm not talking about. No, but that's not what you said. You're doing what these people do. You're changing it now. You asked what was her reason for being in the episode and why was she there. It was explained. She was a fucking hologram.
Explain it to me. Tell me.
They tapped into fucking. They tapped into fucking the Jodie's fucking bleeding fucking not subconscious, the fucking hologram, right? And they changed it into Joe Martin's to trick the Doctor. They literally says it to him.
So
it's explained.
So
the Dean will agree. Dean is agreeing with me.
Wait.
Oh,
Wait. And then when the Master escapes, he blows it. He knocks into this pipe. And there's a teleport thing that conveniently happens to be there somehow. And then he teleports. Why? How? Like,
no, I don't know that. Look, I don't know that. What are you asking me for? I didn't write this fucking shit.
Wait. I thought it was just me, right? I'm allowed to have my... Okay.
You're not having a serious fucking... Wait. Do you even know what you're saying now?
At the end... Jodie Whittaker gets killed off by jellyfish things from the beginning, which is like this thing that she does this exposition dump that is not explained. This is like, one of the fundamental beings of existence or something. And then like kills her off at the end and becomes a jellyfish with a laser beam. And then she goes off and regenerates into David Tennant with his costume on. Like, okay, we haven't seen
now I'm going to say something about that later on, but I thought that was pretty cool. You didn't want her regenerating into fucking Jodie's costume now, did you?
Yeah.
Right, and I told you he wouldn't regenerate into Jodie's costume.
Convenient. Everything about this is
even though I did think it was going to be the orange jumpsuit and spacesuit, but I was speculating there, as I said. But I was right. He was never going. David Tennant's Doctor was never going to regenerate into that costume because that just would have been a joke. I mean, having Sasha in it actually worked. I don't know why it worked.
Oh, God, he looked good. He looked good in that. He really did look good in that. I'll be honest.
And then we had.
Go on, Lee, because you still have to get the rest of it off your chest. But go on. Anything else you want to add? What else annoyed you?
I just think. Why were we all over the world, and why was the Master the Mad Monk Rasputin? Why did we have the whole fucking Rasputin? I know where we have Rasputin, lover of the Russian Queen, in this because it's a gay anthem, and that's the only reason they put it in there. And it's obvious. But I still don't understand the connection.
I actually thought that song was pretty cool, but it was.
But I don't understand the connection. Why
it's like 1916 it is, and he had that 70s song playing in the background.
Okay,
I can give you a connection. It's the same as when the Master started playing music in Series 3.
Yeah, of course, you had to do that. But okay. So now the moon is destroyed. Is the moon destroyed? The moon is destroyed. Okay, so now
that was a second moon.
That was a second moon, Lee.
Yeah, the other one was still there.
Man.
I'm sorry. I'm still assuming that the entire universe is still destroyed from flux.
You're right. You can't talk about that. What you mentioning flux for?
Don't look at this.
You swept it under the carpet. You can't talk about flux. Flux doesn't exist, mate. Never happened. Just like the time the shot never happened, he just ignored it all. He ignored it all. He even stopped pandering to the little Tazzies at the end.
There is no verisimilitude in any of this whatsoever. And the fact that she fucking flushed the fob watch down into the TARDIS console. What was the other TARDIS, by the way? I still don't get that. Like, it was connected to the...
I thought it was a mirror TARDIS.
What future?
That's what I read in. What future? Oh yeah, it was the future TARDIS. Yeah, he done something with the TARDIS.
What future
it doesn't explain it. It doesn't explain it.
Doesn't explain it. And then like nothing at all.
Well, it actually
does. The fob watch.
Seeing the story, we're actually seeing it being explained as we're watching the episode. He actually started backwards. You see, well, what he tried to do. So we saw the consequence. So we saw the consequence of what the Master did to the TARDIS before we actually saw the actions of it happening in the episode. That's what happened. That's why it's so confusing.
What?
How?
Plot device.
How?
Time travel.
Guys.
Right, Lee. Is there anything else? Right, obviously this seems to be the negative part of the stream. So what we'll do is when we all get all the negative shit out of our systems, we'll talk about the positive. Don't worry, it's not all going to be negative. Any more negativity there, Lee? Before we leave, I know there's plenty. Like I can rip this to shreds as well, but what is there anything in this episode that really got under your skin?
Everything.
Just everything. Right. Well, we'll move on. We'll ask Jack next, right? Because Lee is calming down a little bit. So we let him calm down, right? So the plot holes, yeah. Oh, it's got lots of plot holes. It has lots of fucking potholes like roads do, man. Jack, are you around?
No, I think he's
there he is. Right, Jack. We seem to be just focusing on the negative side of the episode first, but we used to do it. So we'll do it that way and then we'll do the positive stuff. So, yeah. Go ahead, tell us what you didn't. You can go into detail now, but tell us some of the things in the episode you didn't like and why, and the performances as well. I suppose Melina picked up on Jodie's performance, saying it was actually bad. I would agree with her there as well. Gobby said the same thing. Our performance was awful. So
as usual, she just carried along
and the cast.
Carried along.
Yeah, well, she was a tag along. She's been a tag along in the whole era from day one. But we'll get into that at the end. But Jack, go ahead.
Well, I think what was really difficult about it is even the characters like Ace and Tegan. I thought their performances were bad, and some of you might agree, some of you might disagree. But it was like they weren't fully there.
Yeah,
and like I say, the Ruth Doctor, completely pointless. Just, I mean, her character, what is her character other than to say, here's a black female doctor? You know, other than that, she doesn't fit in anywhere.
Well, I don't even think she is the doctor, though. That's the thing. We don't know now. We don't know where she fits in now because Chibs never explained to Jack. I mean, that has to be the most annoying part of this whole thing. But as I said, it really makes no difference in the scheme of things because RTD2 will probably ignore it anyway. But that should have been resolved. And this is the thing about Chibs, Jack, isn't it?
Deliberately left
your name's not Jack. Sorry, your name's not Jack.
No, it's yours.
Your name is not Jack.
Deliberately left unresolved.
Your name is not Jack.
Nor is yours.
Name's not Jack.
Nor is
Go ahead, Jack.
Sorry. Sorry, I pressed the button.
What the fuck was that anyway? What was that?
Oh, it's this little thing that he's got.
You got a bullshit button?
Yeah, listen.
Yeah, I saw it on his video.
Really, man. Right, well, anytime anybody Lee says that, and just press that, will you please? Thank you. Right, Jack, go ahead.
Too much. You wear the button out.
And then we'll go with Wolf and Storm after Jack. But go on, go ahead, Jack. And
shut up, you.
Yeah, I didn't really like the Daleks and Cybermen working together. I think Series 2 had established pretty clear that they hate each other. We all remember the Canary Wolf bitch fight.
Yeah, that was
But how are they even working together? Like,
Jet, Lee, come on,
speak, please. You've got the rest of the stream to talk. I'm sorry.
No, go on, Jack. Speak up for yourself. You're right. You're fucking right. I've warned him twice now. He does it again.
I'm a victim. I'm a victim.
Go ahead, Jack.
I didn't really like Sasha's performance. Sorry, Gobby. I just think he's way too over the top. And I think that the reason he looks good in Jodie's costume is because without a beard, he looks feminine. So
oh, Jack is coming out with the bombs tonight. Go ahead, Jack. Keep going.
He's too adorable to be the master. Come on, go.
Come on.
And you know, I think it's very just baiting the whole episode. It's like, hey, do you remember this? Hey, do you remember this? Hey, look at this. Do you remember that? And it just, you know, I'm not going to lie. Even when Tennant came into it, even then I was like, I'm still not that excited because I'm just sat there thinking, like, it's everything I thought it would be, to be honest. He even did I remember these teeth. I remember this thing in between my legs.
What?
Yeah. Oh, thank God.
Just wait until we get Lee. Just wait until we get through everybody, and then I'll come back to you first for the positive
you can
stuff.
Talk.
Right? Yeah, I'm trying to keep everything.
I'm interjecting.
Calm.
That's it.
Right, Jack. Anyway,
You
continue.
always do. Sorry, Jack.
I mean, I can't really think of much else, really. I mean, there was Kate Blander's All Hell. Did you know my dad was in this show back in the day?
That's an actual spot on fucking characterization of Kate Stewart.
Let Jack speak. Let Jack speak.
Shut the hell up, or I'll mute you now, buddy.
Jack, carry on, Jack.
Press the button, Gobby.
Jack, carry on, Jack.
Yes, come on, mate. You're doing well.
They brought the cyber guy who tried to destroy organic life, even though he's partly organic, which you can clearly see. They've got the cyber time lords.
I'm sorry, Jack, but you're fucking cracking me up.
Let Jack
He's just
speak.
dropping the bombs. He's dropping the bombs. Crack on, son. You're doing
His
awesome.
sarcasm is on point.
Jack,
It's just insane.
Jack, carry on,
God.
Jack.
I'm gonna shut him up now permanently. Go ahead, Jack.
You've got the TARDIS that looks like a spider had rigor mortis upside down.
No, stop, go on, keep going. This is fucking brilliant, man.
Poor Dan, my accent is so annoying. Please get rid of me now. Left in 5 minutes.
Dan fucked off. That was it. We didn't even see Dan. Nothing.
It's
Oh my
barely in the
God.
episode.
Yeah, well, who
Go on.
knows? At least his next girlfriend might be able to shake both his hands.
No.
Get the camera.
You're killing the chat there. You're killing the
I
chat.
mean, no disrespect, honestly, but she was horrible. Come on, she was.
But I
She
handed
was
it
a
to him.
horrible
No,
character,
yeah.
actually. She was horrible to him, wasn't she, his girlfriend? Like,
Yeah.
man, she treated him like shite. So, yeah, go ahead, Jack, anyway, yeah.
But yeah, just everything just felt like it was kind of there
She was harmless.
with no build up. Like the Daleks are messing around with volcanoes, the Cybermen have a moon now, and it's all just like scenario to drive the plot forward. And even I said
What plot?
that child creature that they found is like, there's the plot device, and
Yep.
Yeah,
lo
what
and
happened
behold,
to
that's
her?
what kills her.
What
That was the
happened to
week. That was the wiggly thing at the end that killed Jodie. What you definitely didn't watch
I
this
don't
episode,
know.
man.
Like, who the fuck knows? Like, I don't know. Like,
Oh, Lee,
she was a little
how
black
many?
girl. Now
Lee,
she's a
I'm gonna ask
jellyfish.
you-
Why?
Lee, I'm gonna
Why
ask
is
you
she
one
suddenly
question.
a jellyfish?
Listen, Lee, I'm going to ask you one question. How many drinks did you have before the episode started, mate?
About 11.
Right, 2. And then you were drinking during the episode. Mate, you got drunk and you don't know because some of this was explained, mate.
I don't,
Like, that was the
listen,
wiggly.
I don't think even being drunk is an excuse. Quite honestly, like, at what point did the little black girl become jellyfish?
Right, halfway through.
Child got killed by the child didn't. The child turned into the
child
jelly.
was
The
the
child,
jellyfish.
the child was the jellyfish. It
Why?
took up that manifestation. It was even
Who
said.
is she? Why was she a little black girl?
It wasn't
to begin with?
explained
Why
though.
did she become a...
but
No, of course
Probably
it
the time
wasn't.
child.
I mean, fuck's sake.
anyway, is Jack finished with his
Oh,
review
yes,
so we
yes,
can
thanks,
actually
Jack.
ask the wolf and the storm? Have you anything else to add, Jack?
Oh, I'm going.
I mean, not really. All I can say is that, I mean, are you going to talk about the clip of the 60th, or shall I?
Yeah,
wait
we
for
will.
that?
We will. We'll be doing all the things positive in when we get around the whole panel. So don't
So
worry.
that'll-
This is just.
That'll be
This is just.
tomorrow.
No,
That'll be
yeah,
tomorrow,
yeah, at
right,
this rate, it
guys?
will fucking be. We're 44 minutes in and we've only got through 3 panelists. So let's move this along. The wolf and the storm.
In the words of the great Kevin Bacon from Tremors, that was pretty much almost this entire episode. You're right. It was hard to follow. I almost felt like we had
Sorry,
veered
we are
off
back.
somewhere and landed in Moffat world, because this is Moffat's way of doing things, making a finale so convoluted that you can't fucking follow it. My biggest problem with this episode is that I know over the last 5 years we have accused Chibnall of being so devoid of being able to come up with his own storylines that he has stolen from past episodes. And yes, I know that other fans would say, oh, you're just reading between the lines. This time, I could count no less than 7 episodes of blatant, out-and-out egregious theft. Egregious theft of storyline. And I'll list them. We have Doomsday, School Reunion, Fear Her, Sound of Drums, Last of the Time Lords, The End of Time Part 2. That's 6. Anybody else? I mean,
everything else. Everything.
Journey stole in Earth Journey's End. He stole that scene, the TARDIS scene. And that.
As soon as you see that scene where he makes the little cyber dude big again, and then it breaks in half and opens up, and there's a bunch of cyber coming out, I'm like, wow, it's the Genesis Arc from Doomsday. Holy
exactly.
Shit.
Yes.
Right now, dude? Are you serious? You can't write your own shit. You have to steal somebody else's shit.
Oh, someone's playing music.
Wait.
Wow.
Wow.
Wait.
Wow.
Anyway,
of him not being able to come up with his own ideas and having to steal somebody else's shit just to because it feels like he can't write a coherent story on his own. He has to pick juicy bits and pieces from everybody else's good episodes and throw them together to try to make something that's coherent that's really not coherent. There was plot holes big enough to drive a TARDIS through in this episode, which you had mentioned ad nauseum. Oh my lord! And part of that goes to the fact that it's just convoluted as fuck. Like that's another thing that really annoys me. I think the best episodes are the ones where they give time to the quiet moments for character developments. You really can, get into the nitty gritty of what the characters are going through. This episode was so breakneck from start to finish. You literally did not have a chance to breathe, not even for a second. I mean, as soon as the episode started, the action was right there, and it didn't stop until the very end. I was like, can we sit back and breathe for 5 seconds and let these characters kind of develop or finish their storylines? I mean, Dan just fucked off after 5 minutes for no real reason. I would have liked, so what? All of his worries about being on the TARDIS, that just happened off screen. So he's just like, yeah, I'm done. Bye. I want to go home now. So he's not even in it. Bradley Walsh, why is he there? He's just out of nowhere.
How is he there? I will say though, it doesn't make sense that he's there. Right, and Bradley does get his character gets a lot of stick, but I didn't mind.
He's in the middle of a volcano in Bolivia.
I know. We already said that. We already said it.
Look, the biggest thing that I didn't understand at all was the degeneration. I'm not talking about her into David. I'm talking about the forced regeneration of her into the Master. I know forced regenerations happen. We already know this from the 2nd to the 3rd Doctor. Okay. But this wasn't just a regeneration. This was almost like a body swap, where it wasn't just she became. It wasn't just that she made herself look like the Master. She took on the Master's personality. It was like literally the Master went inside of her. Because when you're talking about a regeneration, the one that's forced, it's a lottery. You don't know what you're going to get. Even the 2nd Doctor didn't know what he was going to look like. They gave him options he couldn't pick, so they're like, fuck it, and they just gave him a face. I mean, and then I was like, how? You're not just regenerating. It's literally like you swap bodies, and then they degenerate back into Jodie. So is that count as regeneration or not? I'm not sure. I'm confused. I'm really, really confused.
Yeah.
I was confused what he was wearing. He had the 4th Doctor's scarf, the 7th Doctor's vest, the 5th Doctor's celery, the 13th Doctor's jacket, the 1st Doctor's pants, and the 10th Doctor's tie. I was like, what is going on? What is going on? My head hurts. My head hurts.
And, you know, to be honest with you, that element in and of itself could have worked as the Master deconstructing the Doctor in a way, in a postmodern kind of way, to one element, and I think that in itself wasn't the worst part of this. I just think it just didn't. It had no lead up. It had no elements to explain it. It just felt convoluted and thrown in for the sake of member berries. Oh look, here's a bunch of classic Doctors. We didn't have Tom Baker. We didn't have Patrick Troughton. We didn't have John Pertwee. And it just felt really, really forced, but really selective. It's like, oh, well, we can't afford to do any deep fakes of the past Doctors, or Tom Baker's still alive, by the way. And it just felt really naff.
The thing that irritated me was that I loved Tegan and Ace. They were great. If this could just be a Tegan and Ace show, I'm there. Take my money, I'm there. But they made them come off. If you're comparing School Reunion and what Sarah Jane went through, they made them come off as just a tad bit whiny, Tegan especially. Ace, I understand she had a reason for being upset because of whatever happened between them when they parted ways. But Tegan did not have a reason to be upset. Tegan left him. If you remember, after the Daleks, she was like, I can't do this anymore. Bye, I'm leaving. So why is she so upset that he didn't come back and say hi?
I think the whole thing with I think one of my highlights from this episode was
we're not doing the highlights yet.
No, but I just think that was the strongest.
Yeah, but we'll get into that because I have to get through the rest of the panel, man.
Last thing though, really irritating. Why are these companions so shocked that there are other companions?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that pisses me off.
Dude,
jealous. Yaz got jealous.
I saw.
Yeah, she did actually. But
oh my god,
Doctor, come on! You know
all these women.
You guys are not the only ones he's ever traveled with. Get real. Like seriously, get real.
Ego.
Right, who hasn't spoke on the panel yet? Because so Gobby hasn't.
Cinnamon Toast,
Cinnamon Toast, and Real Super Doctor, is it?
Yeah. Is it I'll go first quickly?
You can go
in a bit because I've got to go in a bit to look after the kids. So I'll do a quick,
buddy.
Quick opinion of it, and then I'll let somebody else get on and everybody could talk. Right then, as far as I'm concerned, I sat through the worst game of Dungeons and Dragons I've ever sat in my entire life. It was run by a games master who had no idea what he was doing, threw characters in to fill everybody's space. It was badly timed. It explained nothing. Timeless Child, ignored. Universe destroyed, ignored. Why companions have appeared out of nowhere? Who cares? It was just, don't get me wrong, the things I did like, I loved the old Doctors when they were talking to their relevant companions. I thought that was brilliant. I really enjoyed that. That was good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the madness of Sacha Dhawan.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I just thought it was just the biggest hot mess I've ever had the displeasure of watching. It was literally like he had these ideas, as old Chibnall did, and instead of making them in a line, he just literally picked them up, lobbed them on the table, and whatever order they came in, that was the way it was done. And there was so many things like, why did this happen? Why is that there? And in reality, it's very much akin to what it used to be in Star Trek Discovery. If something appeared, it was for a reason of a plot device. That was it. It was never explained. And then once it was used, it disappeared. It was the regeneration. I honestly thought it was going to be a fade to black. I just thought they were going to leave it. But for God's sake, the speech, Tag, you're it. Really?
Yeah,
that was the big goodbye. And she even managed to get one of those stupid goddamn scrunchy faces in right at the end.
I know. I see
it's
that.
just, it was.
I missed that.
But you're lucky. It's just, it was like things were explained, but not the things that were really needed to be explained. It was things were explained for which we'd already pretty much figured out ourselves. We don't need to be. Do you see what I mean? It's like you're telling me the
he
point
put us through all this for nothing. Yeah,
exactly.
He put us all through this for nothing.
Here's this person. Who's that? Does it matter? None of it made any sense. I mean, you build a unit headquarters. Why have you got panels in the floor with weapons just lying around?
Yeah.
Where did Yaz get a firearms training from? Oh, I've used a gun. No, she never has. She's never used it because she's the laziest waste of space copper on
and
the
why
planet.
would the doctor tell her to use a gun in the first place if
exactly,
she's
because
to
the
use
doctor
guns?
hates guns. And even the master made that statement, you don't like guns. But it was... it hurt. I sat there. And then when we had the blooming Alcoholics Anonymous meeting between all the companions.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh,
what the living crap was that? That was literally, we've got some old companions who need a new paycheck and need a bit of money in the bank. Let's just lob them in. But the thing is, why? There was no. Let's all sit here and talk about the Doctor. Really?
Yeah, that cameo at the end was crap, but the other cameos, Jordan,
Ace and Tegan, especially, as I said just a minute ago, their interaction with their Doctor was, and I thought Ace's and Sylvester McCoy's was very poignant.
Yeah,
especially when it said all children have to leave. The pleasure is watching how they fly. I thought it was brilliant, and it kind of brought because at the end we never actually saw their ending. They just walked off and never to be seen again. And it kind of brought that balance, so it made sense that they'd fell out, and you know what I mean. That made sense. That was probably the only thing that made sense in the whole of this thing.
Gobby, why was Vinda there? Asked Cardwitch. Can you explain that?
Why was Vinda there, and who the bleed now was he talking to? You get there, and he made a radio message to who? Literally, I thought in a minute he's going to go, my name's Buzz from Star Command. Star Command, come in, Star Command. Who are you talking to? Yeah. Why are you there? Where did you come from? Why are you there?
Where was Belle?
Where was Belle? Where did the wormhole come from that disappeared, then suddenly magically reappeared? I've watched DS9. It doesn't work like that. Every time something happened, and I think Melina is right. There are moments where you think, "Oh, he might be onto something here," and then he goes, "Oh shit, I don't know what to do now. I'll just throw another character in." I mean, Joe Martin came out and did a bit, and it was like, "So, all right, mate, what are you doing?" "Oh, shut up, go away." It's like, oh God. But as I said, she's gone. David's back. The little clip we've got of the 60th with Shooty at the end, not too happy about.
I didn't hear that properly because do you know why? I was too busy fucking screaming overjoyed seeing David back that I fucking missed that, so I have to fucking watch that again.
Watch it again. I mean, he literally goes, "What the bloody hell's going on here?" But it's said in such a camp voice.
Oh my God, what's happening?
Well, I think the rumor was a few months ago that he is going to play this camp. Is the rumor? So if that's
right.
Actually, I think you know
not
what?
Good.
I think I have an idea of what's going on with Shooty.
Go for it.
This was the first time that they've introduced. For years, decades even, I think a lot of fans have wondered what happens to the doctors when they die. Where do they go? There's even been fanfics that are dedicated to that. Stories about where they go. This was the first time we actually saw where she went when she interacted with the older versions of herself.
Yeah, and she wore the same costume as Time. Remember the Time?
Yeah, the black jacket. That's what I said to you. It's the black jacket.
It was a planet. It was a planet and a person and a place and a thing and it just doesn't add up. I just don't know.
I think there was a purpose behind them introducing it, and this is to explain what's happening with Shooty. I think that when at the exact moment that the regeneration happened, that's when the celestial toy maker did whatever he did. Obviously, something ain't right, because when she regenerated into 10, but 10 was wearing 10's outfit. That doesn't ever happen. When they regenerate wearing whatever they were wearing before. So already that is unusual. So
yeah, but I think there is a line in Matt Smith's era where the Claro, when he's walking around naked, and he says he can do the thing with our perception to make it look like that he's wearing clothes, but he's not really wearing clothes. This is what's probably happened here in some mad, weird.
Celestial toy maker did happen right as she was regenerating.
Oh, BBC. I have BBC on. They're literally showing the regeneration again, and they're showing David Tennant's return.
So if 10 shows up, but Ncuti was the one that was supposed to be there, but he wasn't able to be there because of whatever the toy maker did, I think Ncuti is still stuck in that limbo world. And that's where we're seeing him. That's where we're seeing him in the...
Yes, I get that.
He's doing the whole Kevin Bacon thing. What the hell is going on? Because he knew he was supposed to go. He said, why the fuck am I still here? What the hell is going on?
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's good sense.
That makes very good sense.
It's the way he said it. It's the way he said it. Like oh my God. Like, what am I doing here? What's going on?
Sorry, guys. I have to cut across this. I have to cut across this. The first David Tennant interview is on BBC right now. He is talking about his return on BBC News. They showed the whole clip of him regenerating into Jodie. Then they showed all the clips of him in Doctor Who, and now he's being interviewed. So the first interview with Tennant is already up. I told you, full steam ahead. There's no slowing RTD down. So I just wanted to get that out there. They're showing all the clips, and they're talking about, it looks like rumored companions here. Oh, they showed the clip of Bobby Ewing in the shower.
I know they did.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Really? Oh, dear Lord.
I think Doctor
That's
Who...
BBC.
I think
that's BBC telling us. That's BBC telling us that this is now, this timeless child, this era is basically fucking erased.
It's jumped the shark. It's jumped the shark. Doctor Who has officially jumped the shark. This was a clusterfuck.
I know what it is now.
No one's going to accept responsibility. The timeless child thing was not wrapped up. It was not addressed at all. Nothing has been wrapped up. Nothing has been tied up in a nice, neat bow. Nothing has happened. All we've ended up with is, oh, look, forget all this shit. Here's the 60th. That's really what's happened. All this was just a big fucking advert for, hey, we fucked up. Here's RTD.
Yeah, but why did they allow? But why did they allow? Why did BBC, Lee? And I'll let you answer this one. I'm asking you a question. Why did BBC then allow this clusterfuck to go on for 5 years? Then
because they've lost
contracts.
They've lost faith in Doctor Who. They lost faith. They lost control of this franchise. They admitted, I think it's quite clear that if RTD hadn't come back, and I think the reason why RTD came back is because they were going to cancel the show.
Like Gary from Neurotics had said. Yeah, Gary from Neurotics had reported on that 2 years ago.
I think that's absolutely clear, and I think that's so true. I think if RTD hadn't turned up when he did, this would be the last episode of Doctor Who. Yeah. And it really shows that they absolutely lost their way. They allowed these idiots to run amok through this franchise. They ran it into the ground. They lost millions of viewers. And I'm kind of concerned. And like I can't judge on one line in one piece, but the way Ncuti delivered that line was incredibly camp. I have. In
fairness, Matt Smith's first line wasn't very impressive either. When he regenerated into Tennant, we were all giving out about him because he wasn't great.
I'm willing to give Ncuti a chance. We're all willing to give him a chance, and I think everyone in the chat has agreed that we will give him a chance. Absolutely, but this was not the first line I wanted to see from him. I'm glad that we got to see that he's going to be in the 60th in some degree or other, but at the same time, I'm concerned.
Well, if that isn't his fourth sentence, they should have put his fourth sentence in, because I think that's kind of now the perception is that maybe that might be, but it may not be the fourth sentence. You know what I mean? Oh,
yeah,
Gabby has.
It's not a good first. It's not a good first sign.
Gabby has something to add. He has his hand up, and if anybody
Sure,
has the hand up and on camera, then they can go ahead.
It's all right, because I've literally got to go. Just a quick one. The
Out of
reason
10, when you give your thing that you're saying, give it out of 10. You're right.
Right. So the BBC had the grand experiment. They knew it wasn't working, but being the proud, stupid arses that they are, they wouldn't admit defeat.
Yeah.
That's why. Why. And also contracts.
Yeah.
But they dragged us through the mud, man. We had targets on their back for 5 years because
they
of
don't care. They never cared. They didn't care.
Mhm.
They're not
Right.
interested. Except now RTD's coming. As I said with that interview, he's showing that he's very aware now of how interactive the audience will be with Doctor Who. So perhaps this will be a change of direction, and hopefully they will be more aware. This 5 years has been a complete screw up, and everybody knows that, including the BBC. This has hurt the BBC massively, I would imagine. And the problem is they've got too much pride to admit they made a mistake. It's as simple as that. And that's all big corporations have far too much pride and expect it going, we've made a mistake. Governments do it all the time. They never admit they made a mistake. They'll always blame it on some other bloke.
Elizabeth Truss.
Enough of that. Any case, the simple
out of 10.
Out of 10, I will give this a very generous 4.5.
Okay, that's
go.
still a little.
Wow.
That's
Only
generous.
because I enjoyed the old Doctor and old companion moments. They were brilliant, and I did enjoy Sasha's bit. The rest of it was just convoluted bullshit as far as I was concerned, and it was a disgrace to have it on the screen. It was the worst one. The overnights will probably be. I've gone 2.4, maybe 2.5. But they'll never admit and never release when everybody popped in at the end to watch the regeneration, because that's when the vegan figures would have gone up. Not anywhere before. It was confusing. No one understood. It addressed nothing. Basically, they've said, this is our goodbye. We screwed up. Now we're going to move on.
Yeah.
And if they're moving as quick as they are, I mean, apparently the merchandising for the 60th ready to go Monday morning. So I've heard.
So
that,
I'm
if that's true, that shows exactly that the BBC know they messed up, and now they just want to pretend that it never happened, and let's just blitz everything. Because if you know, David Tennant's on right now talking about the 60th, they're going to blitz us with the 60th. So we will forget about the travesty that we've just suffered. They don't care how much pain and suffering we've gone through. They don't care about the pylons. They like the Jodie thing when she was terrified about all the stuff that was said about her. That was specifically done by the BBC to generate hassle and get everybody talking about this show. They had to go down to that level. They had to go to that level to try and get people to talk. And look what happens. They do that, and what happens? People start getting threats, death threats. All this sort of stuff starts all over again. Dickheads start popping up all over the place. Yeah, just giving it loads, talking shite. And this is on the BBC's own hands and Jodie's hands for that pathetic thing. Because when you read the Radio Times article, that is a one line in that article. The rest of it's nothing to do with anything. They picked that line on purpose to cause aggro. So that's on the BBC's. And all these death threats that have happened in the last couple of days, and we've all seen them happen, that's on the BBC shoulders as far as I'm concerned. Because they did it on purpose. Blood on their hands. And if you can only go to that level to try and generate some interest in your shit show, that shows how shit it really is.
And shame on them for using that tactic in the first place.
Shame on everything else. And shame on all the dickheads who've been acting like this. Shame on all of you. You disgust me to the core. You have put three people. There are people on this panel who were bullied off the goddamn internet by dickheads pushed along by the BBC, as far as I'm concerned. This has to be said. It's about time. Let's draw a line under this freaking crap, and let's try and get on and enjoy Doctor Who again. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to go and give my kids a good kids a good cuddle and a kiss goodnight so they go to bed.
Oh, bless.
Thank you, Noel, for the 5 years of you standing pretty much on your own to defend this fandom. You deserve all the credit that you get.
Just to know.
Amen to that.
100%.
Hey.
Yeah, you didn't deserve the shit that you got. You got shit and you stood your ground. And that, in my book, is a good man. A man who will stand his ground against the idiots is a good man. Bravo to you, sir. You deserve everything you get. Thank you very much for your service. Thank you all.
Thank you.
It has been a
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Thank you,
Night,
Gobby.
Thanks, mate.
Good
Good night.
Welcome, guys. Good night, everybody. I will talk to you very soon, no doubt. And it has been an honor and a privilege to be part of this wonderful group we've got, all brought together by adversity. We've been brilliant. It's been enjoyable. I've made so many good friends, and it is an honor to know you all. Thank you so much, everybody. And with that preach,
thank you, Gobby.
the Reverend will now rest, and I shall see you all on the morrow. Thank you, everybody, and goodbye.
Night, Gobby.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Gobby! Give Gobby a round of applause. Come on.
Yeah, I'm just going to call. Sorry, Gobby, to say this, but you're a prick. You made me cry. But no, listen. To hear that, look, yeah, it's been horrible. I wouldn't wish this on anybody. Right, but I haven't been alone. I've had people like Gobby, Lee, especially these last few years. Lee has always had me back. Daniel, I have to mention him. Charlotte, all those people that have stood up for me, defended me. Look, it's meant the world. And I wouldn't have been able to get through this without that support. So I owe you guys, because without yous, I wouldn't have this channel. I wouldn't be able to do what I do. So I want to thank all of you. But let's just move on from this, because I don't want.
I have to say, no. Until I found you guys, I was completely lost, and I'm so glad I found you guys. It's been a wonderful 2 years.
I think they're all.
Yeah.
No, man, stop.
I think we all
found now.
We all found each other. We all, as Gobby said, we all found each other through adversity.
Exactly.
The moment when I first criticized Series 11, when I came out, I think it was during I think it's a spider thing.
Yeah,
and
spiders,
I was told I was told in a Facebook group to go and kill myself, to die of cancer, and I didn't know where to turn. I was suddenly out of these Doctor Who groups, and then I was looking on YouTube. I found Noel's channel. I found Gary from Nerdrotics channel.
Yeah.
I found Bowles Trek, Chris from Cultivated Media. I found all these channels, and I found a community, even though that word is forever stained by meaning. But I found people who shared a common feeling that we were being gaslit, we were being treated like shit, we were pushed out, we were forced out, we were persona non grata. And from that moment on, I found people that not only that I could connect with, but people who had integrity, people who were not liars, people who were held together by a glue of commonality, which wasn't this kind of fringe mentality that we see culminated in social media today. But it was people who were bound together by not a common purpose, as the BBC is, but by a commonality of people who were disenfranchised, upset, people who loved this show so fucking much to the depth of their core. This show has saved so many people's lives. This show has meant so much to so many people for so many years that we felt this was under attack. The show, the Doctor himself was under attack by these ideologues, and we were forced out by people who wanted harm on us for simply stating this is not what Doctor Who is. Doctor Who is so much more than the reductionist, fractious element that you've created for the modern era, which is so far removed from what Doctor Who is.
Yeah.
Doctor Who is universal. It speaks to everybody, not just an elite small group of people on Twitter.
Yeah.
And ultimately, this experience, however fractious and horrendous and abusive it's been, we've seen people wish death, we've seen people rape shamed, we've seen people ableist shamed, we've seen people abused on all levels for so long. And yet it made us stronger, it made us bolder, it made us stick to our principles, and all together we came together and we stuck together and we made ourselves stronger together. And thank you, Noel, for bringing us together and giving us a voice and making that something that we could all come around, stick together and say, you know what? We are Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Not you.
Yeah.
Not you people who wanted to destroy everything about it. And I think we can continue that. We will be stronger and better together.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Can
we just get in when PD adds on to it, and if anybody else wants to say something, but listen, stop blowing smoke up me asses are making me all upset. But look,
you're the worst
I just want to say one last thing. Listen, I loved even though I've been through some dark times on here, I've had some wonderful times because of you guys and you guys picking me up. So as I said, I hate when people praise me. I don't like that. I actually don't. I get embarrassed by it. But at the end of the day, look, I came to realize something over the last few weeks, especially after the date of this episode was released. I seen this wave of hate come towards me like it has for the last 5 years. They took one last chance, one last push to try take down my Twitter account and this YouTube channel. I got reports, I showed screenshots to people. They tried to take this channel down and this the Twitter account before we went live tonight because they didn't want us to talk about this episode and to speak the truth. And Gobby is right about one thing. And my advice to anybody that's running a YouTube channel, never back down. Because as soon as you back down once, that's it. You're fucked. That's the way it goes on here. And yes, it's not been easy. I've had moments where I've actually got upset on this stream, but moments alone, sitting on that sofa, and I won't tell you how after a night of being hammered and being told that I'm the most vile person in the world, that's the thing that kind of does get to me the most. Not now, because I kind of know now that all of this from these people is meaningless. But when I did actually take it to heart, that was the one thing that I can't get my head around, because I'm not actually a bad person. I just happen to have opinions about a TV show that a vocal minority are against. And because of that, as Gobby explained, and I won't go into it again because he explained it all, right? And it's happened to Melina, it's happened to other people, Lee, it's happened to Daniel, it's happened to Charlotte.
I can name them all of us.
Starry-eyed girl, Blue Bonnet Hoovian, all of these people that we used to know, Ballstreck, now Cultivated Media, all of these people, right? And many others out there. It's all right for the bigger channels, in fairness. They see, the reason why I say that is because they can drown all of that out because they have so many people watching that the hate is sorted out by the mods, so they never really see it. You know what I mean? Whereas because we got the small channel, we see it a lot more. So yeah, it used to get to me, but now I'm at the opinion. Look, Gary actually told me this. The first bit of advice that he gave me was, he says, look, as a YouTuber, you're not always going to please everybody. Your opinions are going to offend and you are going to face a backlash, right? But he says, trust me, there'll come a time where it won't feel horrible, you won't feel down, and you'll be able to just deal with it. Now, it did take a lot longer than probably most people thought, but I got there in the end. Nothing what these Muppets say to me now affects me. I actually select them. There's actually one that me and Lee, and if I mention his name, Lee will know who exactly I'm talking about, but escaped from track and decided to start up again. Now he's put out a statement. Now he's put up a statement to say that the new era begins. He's going to stop all that shit. Well, I hope you do, and I hope a lot of other people out there also reflect now on the last 5 years and reflect on your behavior, right? Because at the end of the day, whether you agree with it or not, right? People had different opinions about this era, and I'm sorry it did upset you all and all that, but that's down to you. But now, I would ask you to learn from these last 5 years and to conduct yourselves in an orderly fashion and conduct yourselves like Doctor Who fans are expected to behave. Okay, so if you're going to stay in this fandom and you're going to support Shooty, brilliant, right? But change your attitude this time, because the last 5 years cannot continue. This fandom has to repair itself, and it's not going to be able to do that.
It can't survive another 5 years.
No, it can't. No. So it needs to stop now. So reflect, right? Soak it all up. Reflect over the next couple of days until next couple of weeks and months, and get your heads around the fact that Doctor Who is moving on and Jodie is gone. And I'm sorry, look, the one thing I will say is the genuine Jodie Whittaker fans, I feel for you because I know what it's like to lose a doctor that you do love. We lost Peter Capaldi. I was absolutely devastated when he regenerated. So I know how it feels like, right? So for them, I am feeling for you guys tonight, the ones that didn't engage in any of that nastiness and just enjoyed Jodie Whittaker's era. I feel for you. But to the rest of you want to cop on now. She's gone. Tasman didn't happen. Unfortunately, the kiss didn't happen. That's something you will have to deal with. I see he's having a meltdown. Well, he's having a meltdown anyway over that. But this is the thing that will happen now. They will realise now, and they will go on and analyse all this, because that's what they are actually good at doing. And they will realise that all of this Tasman shit was bullshit and didn't have any substance to it. And the realisation will kick in that Chris Chibnall was actually such a bad showrunner that we were right. But they'll never admit publicly.
Queer bait.
Let's get back. PD wanted to say something, and then what I'm going to do is Cinnamon still hasn't fucking gave his opinions on the episode either.
Oh, bloody hell. We need to give people a chance.
So let's give PD what to add.
I just want to say this. I've met a Canadian Mountie. I've met 2 Australians, one who lives in Canada, a Catholic priest, a Zionist rabbi, a gay Jewish guy, an Irish gentleman with an American wife, a Puerto Rican lady, an American Democrat, a guy who lives around Newcastle who supports Watford. 2
Middlesbrough.
Sorry, Middlesbrough. Sorry, I'll get it right. Sorry, Middlesbrough.
Do not compare me to that scum up there.
Sorry, mate. I'll get it right. I said it right. 2 Scottish men, one of which is a disability, a lady from the Midlands, an ex-soldier, a guy from Birmingham. That to me is true diversity.
Yeah.
What about the guy who likes rabbits?
Oh, the guy likes rabbits as well. Yeah, sorry. Sorry, everyone I've met. I'm just saying, I have met some really good friends in this, and I just think the good thing about these kind of massive battles and stuff is it brings the weirdest people together, and I have made some brilliant friends, and I've experienced true diversity from this, and it's just been a really good time. Yeah, sorry, I'm going to stop crying in a second. Take back over now.
Oh, give him a hug.
Yeah.
And it is, look, it has been an emotional ride, but we're all still here. We're all still in one piece. And we can look forward now with a little bit of cautious optimism, but optimism at least. And we'll see what happens. And hopefully, look, we'll stay in our little bubble, and we'll try and see if RTD can produce and deliver. And if he does, we'll be sitting here and we'll be having fun on the panels, and we won't have to deal with any nonsense.
I just want to say to PD Rich there, like that was a beautiful message and so true, and that's a true voice of diversity right there.
True.
So you know all this nonsense. Like if you look at that red carpet event, you know. Yeah. It was just so one-sided and so not representative at all.
Yeah.
And I just think that really, we're better than this. We've proven that we're better than. Look at the trolls in the chat.
Sorry, I'm sorting it out now.
It just proves we are better than you are, and that's not sanctimony. That's fact. End of story. And I'm proud. I'm so proud to be associated with Noel, PD, Jack, Melina, everyone here. I'm pissed. Forgive me.
What's happened to you all? You've all turned into a bunch of fucking pussies.
Oh, it's all over, mate.
Right? Listen, I'm only joking.
No one cares.
You know what? Do you know what, Lee? Love you, man.
We've proven.
PD, like a brother. Yeah, yeah, fucking.
We are friends. We are friends, not allies.
Exactly.
So pipe it. Take it in your fucking pipe and smoke it, because we are actual friends, not allies. And the difference between friendship and allies is friends are for real, allies are fake as fuck.
Allies are temporary, friends are forever.
It's for
Amen.
And for clout as well. They use each other for clout when it comes to allies. And I have not been well at all. It's like I'm not going into details right now, but it's not been good at all.
No, but we will be doing that mental health stream. Don't forget, and Melina will be coming on. And you know what? I think the rest of you need to fucking come on as well. I think we need to do a council fucking session here.
Oh yeah.
We're all emotional, but it has been emotional. And Melina, I'll let you get your point across. Don't worry, love. But I just want to say it has been emotional, and this is what these fans will never understand. This has been an emotional roller coaster for us, and you won't get it, because the thing is, as Gobby said, everybody has said, the bottom line is you're no fan if you try to come into a fandom, change everything that made the fandom good, and then focus on the show and demand that yous are represented more than the fandom itself. And that's the problem.
I'm so glad that we have Melina back here. And I'm glad also to have Wolf in the Storm here.
We had a bit of a falling out, but you know what? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what it was about. Look, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what it was about at this fucking stage now, right? The bottom line is that, you know, Melina is a fucking friend, and you know, we all fucking have the odd times where I've often fell out with Lee as well. It happens, right? But we're all here together.
But I'm always right and you're wrong.
No, well, you're not right. You're never right. You're never right. I tell you, I mean, if the trolls aren't saying bad, I mean, if Andrew wants to pretend to be Memory, or Memory wants to pretend to be Andrew, let the little sad little fecker do that.
I'm not letting him. I'm Wrench Supreme.
At the end of the day, look at Lee said the something there, right? And PD did as well. The one thing I could say about everybody on this panel that I've gotten to know, including the Wolf and the Storm. Wolf and the Storm has been busy, so we haven't had her on.
And Rabbi, why did you fuck off so soon? My God.
But Rabbi explained he was having
Rabbi, seriously.
Rabbi had to go. Rabbi had issues as well, but his internet went toward the end of the episode.
I don't know.
Yeah,
he does live. Lee, he does. Lee,
I
think Lee forgets that he's living in Israel, and he is prone. He is prone to the old power cut or two. You do realise that, like.
Look, we love Rabbi.
He sent me a message and he popped in anyway to apologise.
Rabbi says the F word. Like, I'm not talking about fuck. I'm talking about, you know, that ends in T. I get it. Like, Rabbi is a religious.
And we get back to talking about the episode though, and then we.
I know, but just quickly, I just want to make this absolutely clear. I don't agree with Rabbi in absolutely everything, but I love him and I respect him as an individual, and I think that his views, however salty they are, however outrageous they are, I find it fucking hilarious.
In fairness, he was only on 2 minutes and he'd already dropped a few humdingers, and I was
I love it. I love
he
it.
did,
I love it.
but when he did,
Didn't take
the
long,
first
did
thing
it?
that popped into my head was I actually missed it, and I will agree with Lee. Do I agree with everything that he says?
If I
Absolutely
can take
not.
what he says without taking it to heart and being
Here's the thing,
offended,
though.
so can you.
Rabbi,
I love it.
This is the thing though about Rabbi. When you get to know Rabbi, he honestly doesn't give a crap what anybody thinks about him, and he honestly doesn't give a crap whether you like his opinions or not. Now, me and him had a nice little chat off screen. I'm not going into details, but we ironed out our little differences, and we had a bit of a chat. And more trolls in the chat, they go ahead there. Oh, so he's already on. Oh, Chris and all these are all on the ball. It doesn't matter. Look, they're adding to the views. That's the way we look at this from now on. Remember, this era is over. We don't have to listen to them. Ignore them. Ignore them.
time is over.
I just want to say, Melina, we have your back. We have your back, Melina. We'll always have your back. But go ahead.
You called me, Andrew. You called me through my Instagram, and you also called me a cunt, and you tried to call me many times on Instagram. I want to tell you to please leave me alone. I don't want anything to do with you. And just,
Andrew, the fact, sorry for Melina there using that language YouTube, but she's just explaining what this troll's all about.
Exactly. No, she's right. Absolutely.
But I will address you directly, Andrew. I don't know how many times I actually have to tell you, right? So I'm going to make this clear once and for all. Any more of your bullshit, right? Every single screenshot, every single video, and that video that I have you on my channel as well, I have as well. I'm going to release it all, okay? I'm going to show everybody how crazy you actually are. No. It's not to give him attention. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a way. There will be a way. If I have to get a solicitor, I will. But I'm going to go to Twitter. I'm going to make sure that you're permanently banned off that app. You are nothing but a little dirty troll, right? You are sick. The words that come out of your mouth are absolutely vile, right? And I think you're joking about the whole trans gay uncle thing, which I find absolutely fucking disgusting, by the way.
Bullshit!
Right? I find absolutely disgusting. And the reason why I'm saying it's absolutely disgusting and I don't believe it, because you made out that when you were pretending to be your uncle, when you sent me an email to leave you alone because you were trolling me, and I explained to your so-called uncle, but I was explaining to you that he was trolling, and then I was given assurances that this wouldn't happen. But in no time in my conversation with your uncle, right, did he mention that he was gay and trans, right? So I think you're a bit of a bullshitter. You're pathetic and you're disgusting, as some people have said in the chat, right? So listen now, your channel is over now. Jody's gone. You're banned from Barry Island. Listen, do you know what you could do with Barry Island? You can shove Barry Island where the sun won't shine, right? That's what I think of Barry Island. I wouldn't want to go on to Barry Island, because I'll tell you why I wouldn't want to go on to Barry Island, because Barry Island is full of bleeding rejects, loners, losers like yourself. So you can take the rest of the fandom with you to fucking Barry Island that have harassed and abused this fandom and stay fucking over there, right? And my channel isn't dead. My channel does the best actually when I'm not talking about that woman. What are you talking about?
It's only getting stronger.
Andrew says no, N-O-L-E. You're harboring a troll problem being he's suspended from Twitter, so you're all banned from Ponty. The reason why I'm banned from Twitter is because of homophobia, motherfucker. So take your shit. Fuck off. You're banned.
Say this?
And I hope your fucking island gets nuked out of oblivion because it's.
Can I just say this is probably this is what probably something Gobby would say. The war is over. Go home.
Yeah.
You lost.
Go home.
Go.
It's
by the
over.
way, if a war actually breaks out, Andrew and the rest of the Barry Islanders will fucking hide in their bunkers, because they're all a bunch of pathetic little losers and wouldn't have the courage to stand in front of me. Here's the thing. You would not have the courage.
We'll take it over at the
You would not have the courage to say those words to Melina to our face, because I know exactly what would happen if you did say it to our face, by the way. No better woman, let's just say, right? But you wouldn't have the courage to stand there and say all the things that you say about me online. And that goes for you all. You would all pisses our pants. You would all pisses our pants. Yeah, so shut up, stop acting big, get out of me fucking chat. You've been banned several times, yeah? I've also gotten in touch with YouTube to remove your membership after, I've actually asked them to not let you renew your membership for the next one, because we can't get rid of you right now.
Can I just say,
you've got one or two that need to get their memberships removed.
Can I just say,
back to the episode.
Barry Island, Nuke Barry Island.
Right, let's get back to the episode. Fuck Barry Island, fuck him, and fuck the fandom. Right, that treated this fandom like shit. Anyway, cinnamon. Now back to order now, right? Cinnamon.
You'll get there eventually.
I'll get there. Cinnamon, Jodie's, whatever the fuck your name is.
Jodie's toast because she's dead.
Yeah.
Oh,
no, you mean the doctor. The doctor is dead. Jodie's doctor is dead. Could you make that clear?
Sorry, Andrew. Andrew probably screenshotted that. He probably got me in fucking halfway down the police station already. Oh, sorry, Andrew. But anyway.
Jack needs to leave soon. He needs to.
That's what I mean. We haven't even gotten to the positives yet.
I know.
Can we just all stop now? And who's next on the list?
Jack.
No, it's not Jack. We didn't do Cinnamon, and I don't think PD gave
Cinnamon.
And real super doctor me.
And John didn't. See, for fuck's sake, man, just stop now, right, for a minute, because I don't know what the fuck is going on. Right, Cinnamon, you give your opinion, please.
Right. Well, like I said earlier when I said grounded, I actually quite enjoyed it. Not gonna lie. Is the story and the plot there? No, it's pretty terrible once you sort of get past. If you sort of peel back all the nostalgia surrounding it, it is a pretty bare bones story. Like Lee said there, what the fuck were the Daleks doing there? Like, I'm sure there must be some reason. I mean, I'm trying to picture it now in my head. How is Chibnall writing down his script, trying to plot out and trying to link it all up in a full, complete draft, and then he sat there thinking, "Yeah, I'm impressed with that." What he's done is he's threw, like you said earlier, never mind the kitchen sink. He's threw everything, the TV. He's threw the entire council estate at the bloody wall, trying to figure out everything. Because that's how we think. Oh, it's big explosions. That's how it is. It's what do you get if you give a child ecstasy? That is this episode. That was how I sum it up.
Guys, I know you want to make colourful metaphors, but you have to be careful what you say. You can't use that word on YouTube. Come on.
Yeah, we can.
No, you can't.
We just have.
Well, I mean, he's all laughing, right? But the thing is, right, my stream, I'm being affected personally by this because my stream.
Don't do drugs, kids. Don't do drugs.
Right?
Yeah, use hallucinogens.
Right? Stop with the colourful metaphors and just fucking get your points across, please.
Yeah,
okay. Right, go. Keep continuing.
It was the fact that it appeared to me anyway, that the Daleks and the Cybermen were taking their cues and their orders from the Master. And I'm like, but the Daleks, why? The Daleks don't take orders from fucking nobody. Nobody.
Exactly.
Least of all, they're the Time Lord. So what the fuck is that?
Not even that. The whole sort of Dalek, the traitor Dalek, the one good Dalek. I found that a bit hard to believe. I don't blame 13 for thinking it was a trap.
How did Rusty come back? Someone mentioned that as well, though. Yeah. That was Rusty. So how did Rusty fucking come back?
Was it?
Yeah, it was because I had the crack. I had the crack on its armor underneath.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Is I didn't even think I know that because why didn't I know that? Well, because Chibnall didn't even write it in convincingly enough. I mean, I had absolutely no idea that I was supposed to be Rusty.
Someone is saying unknown says it wasn't Rusty. It was. I had the crack.
Had the weird voice as well. At the weird, I'm going crazy kind of voice.
You want to see me towels? I'll show you more than me fucking towels. I can tell you that.
Got a feet fetish there, have you? Well, I'm not surprised, but yeah, I mean,
Go on.
What a like I say, like I found it fun.
Right.
I have to admit, I found it fun. I found it funny. I did laugh at that Rasputin scene, seeing him dance like that. I thought Sacha Dhawan's performance is again excellent. One of the few benefits of this era. I do think he looks a bit feminine with that loss of a beard. I think he prefers. I think it looks better with a beard. Don't know why he didn't keep that, but yeah. Even Jodie, I thought ever since Flux, I have found her just a tad more bearable. Is it still 13? Is it still her performances? Yes, obviously, but I don't know. Ever since series 11 and 12, I just found her a little more bearable. Of course, a few scrunch faces in there. No, gotta throw them in. Can't get away from them. And obviously in terms of the fan service, I know people on our side. We might look at that and say, "Oh, well, all it was is member berries. All it was is just fan service. Apart from that, it was a terrible episode." Try and think of it from the point of view of some of the newer fans who have come into this era with Jodie.
Oh, no, because that's
they're going to be who the F are they?
You can't do that, man. Doctor Who, that's lowering your standards. This era has lowered the standard of Doctor Who. You can't lower your standards because Jodie and co and our fans have decided that everybody should lower their standards. This is
no, that's not my point. That's not my point. What my point was that try and think of it from their point of view. I'm not sympathising, but could you imagine all the Jodie fans and everyone who's come in at the start of this era, all those references going right across their head, all over, right, missing them all. Think about how confusing it's going to be for them. And as I was watching it, I thought, yeah, I'm sat there thinking to myself, how many people are going to get that reference? How many people are going to catch on to that?
Not many.
Clearly, yeah.
Very selective. Yeah.
I mean, he did say, didn't he, that he was going to throw some stuff for the hardcore fans, and then I know we analysed it and thinking, oh well, what fans? The fans that Jodie has come out and said, oh, the proper fans.
Where was Pertwee? Where was Baker? Tom Baker.
Exactly.
Again, I was waiting for Tom Baker actually.
Doctors. There weren't any. None.
No.
When I saw that, I was. How I judge this episode is Spider-Man No Way Home meets Doctor Who. And I did enjoy it when I saw those old doctors. I grinned, and that's what I meant when I say it was fun, and that's why I did enjoy this episode, because I've been speaking to Noel. We've had a few tweets, in the group chat. We've been talking before, and I said to him, we're both saying how actually, if he could somehow. Right, it doesn't have to be a fantastic. I'm not asking for Mozart music. I'm just asking for a decent episode. I said to him, I will hold my hands up, and you know what? I'll say, all right, fair play. You didn't break anything else, and I generally feel, apart from a lackluster, bare bones plot, which when you pick it apart really doesn't hold well. Apart from that, I generally found that he respected. Like, I was terrified as soon as I saw there was doctors going. I thought, "Oh God, I hope he doesn't say anything. I hope he doesn't ruin anything." And I that was my main concern when I had Ace and Tegan. As soon as they announced them to be back, I thought, "Oh!" I started hearing people saying, "Oh, they're going to be a lesbian relationship." I thought, "Well, surely they won't go that far." But I was worried. But then I was sort of, in the same breath, I was sort of relieved, or I was more hopeful. If this was towards the back of Series 12, I'd be a lot more anxious. But when we saw with the Weeping Angels, like I said before, when we were doing the Flux panels, that Weeping Angels episode, I did enjoy it. I considered that one of my more favourite episodes of Chibnall era, not Doctor Who. You have to separate them.
100% agree with you on that. I think because mainly that wasn't written by Chibnall, it was written by
Village of the Angels. That's the only decent episode, and I still have problems with that. But I liked what he did with the Weeping Angels.
I'm in another group. I'm in another Twitter group with Star Hooven. I'm sure you know that. And there's another group of like-minded, decent people. And we were basically discussing that actually about our favorite episodes, or the episodes that we found the most enjoyable, I guess. And that came up, the whole and Maxine Alderson, and I thought, well, how funny is that? The episode that isn't even written is one of the better ones. And And I felt bizarre. I think I remember going away from watching that and thinking, I can't lie to myself. I actually quite liked that. And I thought, well, I've got to be true to myself. I've got to come on Noel's panel and I've got to say, give my honest opinion. Does Flux have flaws? Definitely. And some of those flaws again came back up again in this episode. This episode is trying to do this thing. It's called chibnalism. It's a very serious condition where he tries to balance way too many things. See, that pun was a little bit more PG. He tries to balance all these different things like some sort of circus clown, and it all comes towering down. Or it's like a game called Plunk. You take one thing out, it all falls down. And I don't know how you can generally write a coherent story with that. How you can balance so many things so incredibly fast paced beyond belief, but yet somehow I did manage to follow along, but it was hard work. In terms of the regeneration, I did actually think it was a little bit abrupt. That's when I saw that it was the Master and the Doctor on that planet of metal. It's powered by the TARDIS or something like that, with the big jellyfish, and the child that was established in the beginning of the episode, and they never did anything with it, and then she sort of morphed with the jellyfish thing. I'm assuming that's the Timeless Child. I'm going to assume that was the alarm bells that I was getting. But I thought like you just got shot with this big beam, and that was it. And then she starts glowing. I thought, well, okay. But the actual regeneration itself, I thought was. Well, it wasn't the best. I did think the final sort of speech. It's hard to explain because it does fit a character. The child, sort of playing tag. It's very childlike. But this is supposed to be the last. The last moment of that Doctor, and like I say, like Robbie said, your tag, you're it. I could sort of understand it, but I mean, compared to other speeches, like. When you look at Matt Smith with Amy, and you look at even Pete Capaldi's "I Let You Go," it was a sort of message. I liked it when she said the TARDIS was it look after the next one. I like that I like little lines like that when they say that, because it's sort of like passing on the baton. But yeah, and I thought that actual went on the cliff. I thought that was a generally beautiful shot. I loved that, actually. That was one of my favorite. It was a great scene. There's it was a really good looking episode, to be fair. God, could you imagine it? I mean, there must have been a lot of money spent on the CGI. There's a lot of it in there, a lot of explosions. But I feel like that was what the episode was about. There was a lot of explosions in that episode. Possibly to cover the actual story. I think that's what it is. I think the best way to describe this episode was the story was weak, but everything else is filled in there to make it appear better.
But what was the story?
Well, that's what I mean. When you look at the episode, the story was like Lee said. What are the Daleks there? Why are the Daleks and the Cybermen teaming up? Okay, it actually made better sense in series 2, because at least there, it was specific that they hated each other, but it was sort of like the enemy of my friend sort of thing. Yeah. Well, sort of. Yeah. You got the concept of that. In this, there was no explanation. It was just, oh, here we are, Daleks and Cybermen in a room. Deal with it. It was so many. And again, how did even Ace and Tegan even know each other? Why, let alone FaceTiming each other in the beginning? All these important parts that could have been explained again with Vinda. Why does Vinda really say if you took Vinda out the story, would it really make a difference? Okay,
yeah, I mean, that was not explained
head, but that was about it. Like they could have spent, instead of trying to bring back everyone that was, I think great again with Graham. What the hell is Graham? What is he, some sort of spy now? Is he a big investigator guy now? Does he go around solving crimes? Why the hell is he sat there in a volcano? Instead of trying to bring back sort of, I wouldn't say fancy, but instead of trying to bring back everyone that was connected with the Geordie era, like it's some sort of like Russell T Davies End of Time Part 1, where he did a montage of everyone that the Doctor knew. Instead of wasting time and all that, you could have spent time trying to maybe pace up the scenes a bit more, so it wasn't like you're constantly on some sort of narcotic, and actually flesh out your story, because that was the biggest issue I have, because this is supposed to be called, like you say, we've all been discussing whether it's going to be bookended, and some people believe it will be, some people maybe not, but some parts, I mean, unless it's completely dropped, which could also happen, because it seems like they've completely forgot everything. You're right, it seems like they've just completely dropped it, everything, even for Thasmin, which absolutely delights me. I'll get into that maybe in a little moment, but yeah, everything, instead of wasting time with everything else, you could have, like, the whole thing was the fugitive doctor again shows up. What is the point of her being there? What? Okay, is she a part of? I might be wrong because he said it wasn't part of her conscience, but the whole hologram thing, that was a part of the memory, wasn't it, or something of the part of the doctor's memory?
Yeah, that's
so
what she said.
I concluded that. Well, obviously that must mean that if it's her memory, that must mean that it's something to do with her past. Or I can't remember, but yeah. And just very quickly on the whole Thasmin kiss thing. Do you know what? F you. You don't deserve it. We've had 5 years of not getting what we want. How about it's time you don't get what you want for a change? And I don't care, because that is what we've had. We've had to shut up and put up and told we were scum and sexists and bigots and every single name under the sun, but daring to not like it. I came into the show when I first announced Jodie at, what was it, Wimbledon. I remember I saw it. I was baffled. My jaw dropped. I thought, wow, this is incredible in terms of how huge it's going to be. Was I on board with it straight away? No. But was I against it? No. I was, at the very beginning, I was more than happy to give her a chance, just as everybody else had. Yeah, the whole concept of the Doctor now being a woman was a bit strange. Did take a bit getting used to. But I was more than happy to give her a chance. And I did. We all did. Maybe some bit more, some a bit more happy to do so. Maybe some people said no straight away. Some people dropped off at certain points. Maybe some people watched a few episodes of Series 11 and said no, not for me. People like Rabbi said he watched, what was it, Sanandra Conundrum or something like that. And after that, after that he said he was done. That was when he realised that this wasn't his era. I quite like the arachnids in the UK. I like the spiders, but I was baited with that because I thought they were going to be the spiders from Metebelis 3. It turned out not to be. But yeah, this era was. We were swept under the carpet and told we didn't have a voice anymore. We were told that we weren't proper fans, despite some of us being watching this show since the 80s. I mean, I was born in 2002, so that should put it into perspective for you. People like me and Jack, who you would think, with our age, we would fit into their demographic of people who will be into this craze. But it's really telling, because it's not just we are just an old white man. You know, it's the younger audience. It's the women as well. We've got people like Charlotte. You know, there were women who don't like this era. This isn't just white people. This isn't just men. This isn't just old people. Oh yeah, just old. You need to get with the times. This isn't Doctor from the 80s anymore. This is multiple people from different backgrounds, from different generations.
No, but
saying the same thing.
That's the thing.
But you know what? There's nothing wrong. You've actually enjoyed some elements of it, so I'm actually jealous of you. To be quite honest,
that's what I've been saying since day one. I'm actually jealous of these people. We're not hating the show because people, certain individuals, with that guy with the mask on, maybe some people out there are exploiting it just for clicks. But we hate this. Well, hate is probably a strong word, but we detest. Yeah. Actually, yeah, maybe we do hate this era. Some of us hate some of it.
No, I can admit I hate this era. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna hide behind it. I never have, and I'm not gonna start now. I hate everything about this era. Sorry, but that's where I am. Hate is a strong word, yes, but for me, that's how I describe this. I hate it.
Yeah, I'd probably agree.
The fandom did not help. That's the problem.
And we weren't helped because they were endorsed.
Well, this will make you laugh because you brought up the Hazzies and the people that that you said, well, no, we didn't get what we wanted for 5 years. So I'm glad. Well, this is what one said in particular, right? So this will put a smile on your face. Remember, Doctor Who fans, they're calling Doctor Who fans now. You don't have to give the Not My Doctor fools any attention while they take their little victory lap today. Ignore and block the trolls. Are you taking the piss? So let me get this straight. You didn't get what you wanted, so you're going to take it out on us yet again.
Who?
Right? Because Chibs didn't deliver. We tried to tell you. You wouldn't listen to us. I tried to save you from this by telling you that this whole Tasman thing that he put together, he said he was playing around with it. He didn't give two shites about same-sex couples, and I'm sick of people saying that this man was a hero for the LGBTQ plus community, right? He wasn't. He's no fucking hero. RTD has done more in Doctor Who for LGBTQ plus rights than fucking Chibnall has done. Ivan, he's damaged it. It's for portrayal of gay couples and same-sex couples in this fucking show has been an utter disgrace. Okay? And then he baits in Legend of the Sea Devils to get you to watch the next episode and then doesn't even deliver on the one thing that you want. After they had that little conversation, you were hoping it would lead to a kiss, right? It didn't happen. He didn't give two shits about you. When he's going to wake up and realise that this man never really cared about you, Doctor Who, or anything, right? All he cared about was himself and his own career, and Whittaker was only caring about herself and career. They didn't give two fucks, right? They waited until the last minute to promote this shitstorm, right? Okay. They didn't give a crap. So I'm not going to sit here, and I'm telling you now, right? Bottom line is, right, you're calling us the trolls and block them and all this. No. Yeah, actually, block away. Better even still, leave the fandom, because you have been nothing but the worst kind of fan that has ever come into this fandom. You have destroyed the fandom. You have tried to get the showrunner and the BBC to pander the show to you guys, which he did. And what did it do? It nearly cancelled the whole thing. The RTD had to come in and rescue the whole shebang. Because if you look at this episode and analyze this episode, you will see that this was actually an ending. The way that episode was framed, that was framed as if this was the end of Doctor Who. This was a goodbye episode. That's exactly what this episode was. And then RTD comes in, and remember, we heard about that extra scene being filmed, and I can guarantee it was that regeneration scene right at the end, because I reckon it was gonna fade to
No. Remember that picture of them all hanging around that grove where they filmed robots of Sherwood? That was the original regeneration scene. Now they got this new regeneration scene with David Tennant.
So here's one now, right? Now, don't get me wrong. David Tennant was my favourite Doctor for a long time. But 13 regenerating into him feels so misogynistic, especially when he used by all the not my doctors to belittle Jodie and her work. It's really taking away from her last moment as the Doctor for me, and it hurts me. I don't give a shit who it hurts, right? Yous have went around and bully, and it's not misogynistic. There you go again. Yous are starting, yous are absolute dire rubbish again. We don't want to hear it. If you have a problem with Jodie Whittaker regenerating into David Tennant, that's on you. The show is moving on. She's gone. Finally. Ding dong, the Doctor's dead. All right? Yeah. She's gone. So get over it. Dry as our eyes, or cry into our bowl of cornflakes, or whatever you do in the morning. But get over this. Get over this. And stop with your rhetoric that this is misogynistic. You don't even know what the fucking word means. You don't even know what the word means. Go and read a fucking dictionary and actually look at the definition of misogyny, misogynistic, and misogyny and all of that. Okay, go on. Educate yourself. This nonsense is going to stop. These are going to be called out for it. We're not putting up with this. This era now, RTD2, is for everybody. Everybody. And if you are willing to come along and drop yous our bullshit and stop yous our targeting the fans and come along with this journey along with us, then we will fucking take that. Because the more people that are watching bloody Doctor Who, the fucking better for this show. So stop yous our bull crap. Yous had yous our 5 years. It's done. Okay, look at the damages I've done to the fandom and the show. Will you just leave it fucking out, man? Stop picking on Tennant now, right? You need to leave it out. I'm sorry she's gone, right? But you kind of deserve it. You were bragging for the last 5 years. I told you that you wouldn't win the war in the end. Right? You've got our little bits here and there. You've our little victories here and there. But you were never going to win this because there was nothing to win because you was always going to regenerate. You are still acting as if this was some sort of fucking, the longest serving companion, the longest doctor, all this nonsense, whatever you want to come up with to big this up. Right? Forget about it. It's done. Right? This show was being cancelled. I was telling the truth when I told you that. The show was going to be cancelled. If RTD hadn't stepped in, we wouldn't be watching the 60th anniversary. There'd be none. It was getting cancelled. That episode tonight, you analyse that and you watch that again. That was a goodbye episode. That's what that should be called. It shouldn't be called The Power of the Doctor. It should be called the Goodbye to Doctor Who episode because that's exactly what it was. That's exactly what it was. You need to wake up and smell the coffee. Right? If you love this era and some of you like this era out there, I'm delighted for you that you've got something from this. I really am. I'm envious and I'm jealous. Because I wanted to experience those things that you wanted, but I didn't. And I'm going to shut up now and hand it over to Lee there because he wants to add something to that as well.
Can I just say I'm having a very interesting conversation with Pat Milton in the chat there, and it's a respectful conversation, and I think that's a wonderful thing. I don't want Pat to feel that I'm using my voice to focus on what he's saying and attacking him anyway. I think it's important that we have this kind of discussion to wrap up really where we've been for the last few years and where we're at now. And there does seem to be a little bit of a discussion about the validity of Chibnall's vision, right? And I think this is very important. I think everyone who's been a fan of this era has been undersold by Chibnall. I think he's let them down. I think the whole Thasmin thing was a complete inflation of ideas, contrivance. I think the whole Timeless Child thing has proven to be a complete failure of his vision to fruition. I think he bottled it. Pat's argument is that the BBC interfered. I don't believe that. I think the BBC were instrumental in providing I mean, if you just look at the media attention for the finale of this, the red carpet event, where it was all this intersectional bunch of trendy people who turned up to say, "Oh my God, Doctor Who's so like crazy! Oh my God, it's like amazing! Oh my God, Jodie, I love her." It was just so not Doctor Who, like not Doctor Who fandom. I'm sorry. It was like London fucking Fashion Week. It's got nothing to do with
like Dominic Martin was like the only fan there, and the rest of them were just like all something.
Yeah.
Well, in TikTok influencers.
And the token white guy who was like probably the straightest person there. And I'm gay, I can say. I found the whole thing to be just an oh my God, this is Doctor Who LGBTQ plus. It's no, it's not. It's for everybody. It's for all outsiders.
You know, honestly, it saddens me though because the LGBT fans that the show has, it's in this era. They think it's like she's like the second coming of God because they've given them this, you know, same sex whatever relationship that never went to anywhere.
Well, it went nowhere tonight. Molten Storm. It actually had no resolution whatsoever.
Ever had any intention, and that's just sad because I have seen this happen before, where they'll bait and then nothing comes of it, and it's just sad that they could not see the forest for the trees. Like they were being used.
Yeah.
Chibnall literally said. Never had any intention of doing a Thasmin thing. They didn't even know that it was a thing until until one of their minions or one of their guys that works for them at BBC looked on Twitter and went, "Oh, hey, the fans like this Thasmin thing. Maybe we should
on Twitter, like the 5 people on Twitter. Yeah.
Maybe we should play for ratings." This whole convoluted shit with their relationship, quote, because it's not real, was played to get ratings.
you know who has too much power in all of this? All of this. Okay? It's the mods on the BBC Doctor Who Twitter, right?
Yeah.
The people who control they are the ones dictating the course of action in all of this.
Yeah.
They are, it doesn't matter what the entire general audience of the BBC or Doctor Who or whatever, the fandom, the general audience, whatever, they're not interested. All they're interested in is the immediate fucking feedback of Twitter, and it's fed through the idiots in charge of the Twitter account at the BBC Doctor Who, whatever it is, right? That department. Those people need to be sacked, fired, sacked, got rid of.
To be fired. Yeah.
They are toxic. They are poison. They are the ones who are filtering through what they deem to be the most important aspect of this fight. They're the ones effectively, quote, queering Doctor Who for the mass audience. Okay. The BBC and RTD and so on and so forth need to stop listening to these fuckwit fuckers on Twitter in charge of the social media account at fucking Twitter.
Well, they have
Twitter
their own ones,
is not real. Twitter is not real. There are homosexuals like myself, like PD, who are not on board with this fucking outrageous, ridiculous, fucking reactionary, reductive fucking nonsense on Twitter and Instagram. If you look at that awful fucking red carpet event for Power of the Doctor, and by the way, what was the Power of the Doctor? There was no agency there whatsoever. Anyway,
so David Tennant, there you go.
Yeah, right. I would just say, if your entire media fucking reach, your entire media fucking approach to promoting this episode on a red carpet event was a trans person, a black gay person, a white non-binary person, a black fan, and a token white guy, and another person of color. I'm sorry, like, this is so transparent and it's so ridiculous. And as I said earlier, it looks like a London fucking Fashion Week event, not Doctor Who. Bring in the true Doctor Who fans, the ones who know about what the fuck is going on, but you couldn't. I'll tell you why you couldn't, because none of them like Jodie Whittaker. None of them like Chris Chibnall. And the only people you could get in are those who are on board with your fucking bullshit. And unfortunately, bullshit doesn't sell. And we've had enough of it. And it's quite clear. And I suspect we'll be very interested to see, I should say, from what the ratings will be for this, because we've got to wait 24 hours to see. But I suspect it ain't going to be as big as they thought it was.
I don't know.
Later
I still don't know.
Wait. I think once the word gets out that David Tennant was in at the end, I think people will be. I think probably, and this is my suspicion. I don't know what the word is. My feelings are that people will go to YouTube and watch that scene on YouTube. I think that will probably get more views than the actual BBC.
Actually, you could be in. You could actually have a valid point there. Actually, because why bother watching an hour and a half if you're seeing reaction to it is mediocre? So then you can go on to YouTube then and just watch the scenes that you actually are interested in. I don't know. Right. You could have a point there, man. But who else was the real Super Doctor didn't give his opinion on it? So give your opinion on the episode and give your thoughts on it all, and then we'll get into the ratings of anybody. Who else has to actually give their opinion on this episode? We didn't even get to the good yet. We had to do the good, but we're going to wrap this up in the next 45 minutes. So if everybody could jump real fast now, that would be great. Go ahead.
Yeah, my opinions as it was that it seemed like a convoluted mess. It seems like Chibnall was being sacked, and it was like the last shot at this was just to kind of clear off Jodie Whittaker and just get it over and done with. And basically what he'd done, it was like he had a mental breakdown, and it was like he was trying to get everything, all ideas together. And what he'd done was he was looking at other episodes of Doctor Who, RTD past episodes, and then getting all the ideas together, and then trying to put them together to make a story. And he was getting all the past companions back just to kind of make it a bit fan, fan orientated, and trying to kind of win back the fans a wee bit. And then when he put it all together, he really didn't know what he was doing, and what it appeared to be like getting Bradley Walsh to kind of appear and all that.
Yeah.
It was just only for just for wee hurrahs and that, and that's kind of the way I felt. But the past companions being in it, Tegan and Ace, I felt that they were kind of a bit undermined in that by it, because the fact that their parts in it were quite irrelevant as well. They were just only there for a party piece. And Jodie, she just didn't feel like the lead of the show, and it was mostly kind of down to all this imagery and all the master Sacha Dhawan. He was mostly the one that was in place all the time. But
this was his episode.
Yeah, it was mostly his episode. It was mostly that the master trying to control and manipulate the scenes and try and steal the Doctor's regeneration. Now, why I consider this is very poor is you have to look at the TV movie, for instance, because the TV movie had the master trying to steal the Doctor's regenerations before it, and using the TARDIS as an element, the Eye of Harmony, for instance, to kind of steal the Doctor's regeneration cycle. And how this was done, it was so poorly executed that you thought you were going to get something interesting, in which you were not. I mean, that's what I said, that Chibnall was stealing all his ideas from past episodes of Doctor Who, that he really didn't give an F and a hoot about the fandom at all. It was just like, get it done, get it over with, and that's it. Get the regeneration done as cheaply as possible, and they must have spent money on the special effects and that, but to me it was just a glorified mess. But I was quite happy to see that the old Doctor's returning and Peter Davison. I was quite happy that he had a change of heart, because I mean, he was a big fan of the show. I mean, even when he played the Doctor, I mean, he had seen the past episodes of Doctor Who, which gave him influence to his Doctor. And Colin Baker, I mean, Sylvester McCoy, he had a change of heart as well. And most of them had a kind of change of heart as well. But it's like as you said, Ghostbusters 2016. The cast that made the cameos, they really didn't want to be there. They felt that they were kind of forced to be there, and even Bill Murray was kind of a bit forced to be there.
But he was so annoyed that he actually played a different character altogether.
Yeah.
They all did, didn't they? They all actually, except for I think Ernie Hudson, didn't he play the same character? But the other two lads didn't play the same character. They played different characters.
Yeah, they all played different characters, and basically they were quite annoyed by it. And I think that if you did not star in this, we would sue you, kind of sort of thing. Like, you are our characters, and basically we can do what we like now. And if you don't want to appear and all that and stuff, we can sue you for it. But I felt like that for this episode, that these characters were shoehorned into this, that they felt they probably didn't want to be there, because basically, if you look at Resurrection of the Daleks and Tegan's departure, and Janet Fielding made that, it was made in such a way that Tegan would never be back. She said when she went through that problem with her Aunt Vanessa being killed by the Master, and like, she seen too much killing, death and destruction, and she said, enough is enough, Doctor, it stopped being fun. And she decided just to leave the Doctor at that point in time that kind of explained it there and then, and that was her story done. It was totally unnecessary to bring back Tegan for that, because and then the confrontation with Tegan and the 13th Doctor, she was completely surprised that the Doctor was a woman and so young, and like you could see that character wasn't quite happy with the fact that this was the Doctor, and it had to have that kind of flashback with Peter Davison talking to Jeanette Fielding, that to make sure that, to kind of reassure the older fans that this was still still the kind of same character, But I did like the cameos, and I did like the cameo of David Bradley, but although he is not William Hartnell, but it kind of fits in quite nicely anyway. But
yeah, I was quite happy to see him back.
The meltdown on Twitter is fucking epic. I have to read some of these out when John is finished. When John has finished these points, I'll read some of these out, because I won't mention names, but you have to listen to this fucking nonsense. It's funny. But go on, John. Sorry about that, because I just start laughing there because the tweets are in front of me.
Sasha Dewan's master was totally unhinged. You could absolutely see that, and which it was done really nicely by Sasha, because you could see it in the eyes. Like, he was trying to capture Delgado, and that hadn't been done in nearly, say, about over 40 years. It hasn't been done with Anthony Ainley or any other master after that. But I thought that was done very nicely. And,
there's almost like a sort of Roger Delgado or John Sim to him, isn't it?
Yeah, the John Sim kind of insanity, and I thought that was very, very good, very, very well done. And even I thought it was
okay. I really that irks me. I hate when people call out John Sim's portrayal, like why he's so crazy, blah blah blah, over the top, whatever.
He was driven demented.
I've always accepted that way that he portrayed it, because there was a reason in story for him to be that way. In End of Time, when you saw what they did to him and how they messed with his brain, and then whatever it was he saw when he looked in the untempered schism, the explanations were there to explain why he was the way that he was. Sasha Dewan's master. Okay, I will say I will give him props that tonight he did a little bit better. He wasn't as bad, but this whole like acting like an unhinged ADHD kid who lost his meds. Yeah, it's like, come on, dude. He didn't have no reason to be that crazy. He's just doing it to do it.
Yeah. It's with the Master and the Doctor. It was Chibnall was trying his best to kind of get that kind of balance between the two, and Jodie couldn't really perform it. And while Sasha's performance was outshining Jodie, you could see it right through. I mean, it was completely showing her up. For the regeneration sequence, I thought she was very badly acted. It was the way she was conveying herself, like when doctors are at that point that it's the end, and they give this great speech, like William Hartnell gave the great speech, like his body was wearing a bit thin, and that he knew that time was coming, that he had to get back to the TARDIS for that changeover shot. And it's like Patrick Troughton's speech. It was a great speech. Pertwee's into Tom Baker and so on. But I just felt that it was just so staged, and there was no conviction in her voice. It's like she's trying her best to convict herself to, like it's like, it's acting. It's not like a genuine performance, and that's what kind of really annoys me about Jodie Whittaker's performances. And I was quite happy with the David Tennant coming back. I was quite excited in that, and it was like an air punching moment. But it was the way it was done. It was just like David Tennant, full clothes, change your clothes. I knew that they could not pull off David Tennant regenerating it into that costume. I just knew that they could do it.
It was never going to happen. Of course,
it was never going to happen.
No.
I'll bet you a week's pay. First scene that we see in the 60th is him turn around, going back into TARDIS, seeing the shit show that she left it of a console room, and just going, "Yep, no."
In the words of Ncuti Gatwa, I bet he'd be feeling like this.
Here. You have to listen to this, right? So I'm gonna put on a voice to read this because it'll sound better with a voice, right? Because this is how you know that these people have never watched Doctor Who in their entire lives and are just a bunch of posers. So me best J-Bot voice. Fans are going to hate me. I do not care. David Tennant should have not returned because apparently the Doctor can't regenerate into their former incarnations. I'm full of mixed emotions, confused, angry, sad. I'm silently screaming, what's going on? Okay, well then you obviously didn't watch the 50th anniversary, you little twat, because if you did watch the 50th anniversary, you would have heard that you can revisit some of the old faces. Fake fan, get out of the fandom. Here's another one. I hate this so much. I used to watch this show religiously in high school because I had some people in class who liked the show, but getting David Tennant back, no. They're supposed to be a new people, man. Why make it someone he's regenerated as before? Doesn't even make any sense, but this one. I hate this. I hate this so much. I have said I would hate this if I see Jodie regenerate into David Tennant. Literally said, fuck progress, and here's to the racist and the sexist one.
I only ever agree.
A fucking river, right? At the end of the day, right? She fucked up the show because our boss fucked up the show. Yeah. And the reason why they're going back to David Tennant, because he is the most popular New Who Doctor. I'm sorry, but suck it up, sweethearts. We told yous, we warned yous that
he's the Tom
Chris
Baker
Chibnall had fouled the ball. Yeah. Chris Chibnall had royally screwed up. That's the person you should be angry with right now. He sold you short. And especially those fans who were loyal to this show and actually didn't engage in the harassment, they've been let down badly by Chris Chibnall. Lee mentioned that earlier on.
No. Yeah. This is fucking brilliant. Okay, so there's this guy, like Melina's been sending me these things, and I'm cracking my ass off. And I tell you why. Because I told you, didn't I? I told you that these stands would come out, like they would come after RTD. Didn't I say that? They would come
after now.
Big mistake.
Melina sent this to me. IDW spoilers. Good thing he's only in 3 useless episodes. RTD, you ruined my favorite Doctor regeneration. You are crap. Melina. I'm hating David Tennant coming back, and if anyone got a problem with it, I don't give a damn thing.
Melina, send them to me, because what I'll do is I'll censor the names. Send them to me on DM on Twitter. Yeah, I'm going to censor their names. I'm going to do a video later on of the meltdown, folks. So watch out for that later.
How about this? In capital letters, why not make a tribute of Jodie instead? I'm fuming. And then another one. I hate you, Russell T Davis. You showed zero respect to Jodie.
Hold on. How is RTD? Hold on. Sorry for a minute here. How was RTD responsible for Jodie Whittaker's failures, the Doctor, and her regeneration? He's not. And the way the regeneration was done, if you actually look at it, I think that was actually done by CGI. I don't think the two of them were actually there together to film that scene.
No, it would have been like the 9th.
Go ahead, Melina. Go on. You have another one for us there?
See a moment. This just want to say that this is actually the same person who told me that I should get I don't know what words I can use in your channel.
Yeah, I know the disgusting vile things that
SH harassed, right, by JB.
Bastards. Bastards!
This is the same person who said that. And I'm keep reading, and she's having a complete meltdown in her Twitter. She said, "Enough with Tennant, enough with RTD." Thinking she spelled error wrong. She said, thinking his roar is the best. Enough. Blocking everybody, reposting shitty Dr. Tennant screen caps. Listen to this. Mira esto. Gonna become a not my doctor for Tennant. This is so rubbish. He's freaking back.
Wow.
Shit ending with Tennant.
So you're joining the dark. You're joining an organization that doesn't even exist because not my doctors don't actually exist.
Well, we established that, didn't we?
Esta es la misma cabrona. Esta es la misma cabrona who said those nasty things about me. Who called me pathetic when I talked about my me not take the attempt of my life. She called me pathetic when I said to thanking my friends who were there when I did not want to live anymore, and she said pathetic. And she went and mentioned saying like if Peter Capaldi were to meet me, he will never even shake my hand. What that is, I mean, and I'm saying she's a big fan of Sacha Dhawan, and I'm saying Sacha Dhawan will be disgusted by what she has said here. Not only, I mean, she wants me to be sexually harassed, assaulted. Actually, more. She wanted to be sexually assaulted, but also call me pathetic in my suicide attempt. And this person is going on having a complete meltdown, and now she's becoming the most. She called me hateful many times, but yet she hears being hateful to people who are fans of David Tennant. She demands respect.
No, everything's just gonna be David. This David's that fucked off. I'm actually so pissed. Dr. Tennant, you'll never ever be the 14th Doctor. Sorry, you're coming back. It's so lame. It just doesn't make sense. We don't care of this shit. Oh, I beg to differ a lot.
To see the true nature is coming out now, folks. So we don't have to worry. Let them have their meltdown, right? This is what I said to you. Remember, I predicted all this, and I said we could sit back now and laugh at them.
I said RTD would be cancelled. I said he would be cancelled. I just didn't expect it to be so soon.
He won't be cancelled. RTD will.
No, but they're trying. They are trying.
Yeah, they could try. RTD has one simple solution for trolls anyway. And it's whether you're on one side or the other, he blocks, right? He doesn't tolerate that shit or take that nonsense, and he won't be hounded off Instagram like other showrunners have, like Stephen Moffat. Stephen Moffat, remember, did leave he left Instagram and Twitter. No, Twitter. He left Twitter because he was getting so much grief on Twitter. RTD is a different breed altogether. He honestly is like Rabbi. He doesn't give two fucks, right? So he'll just block them. Just enjoy this, folks. Enjoy the meltdown. Enjoy them actually revealing that they're not fans of this show. Bye. Even by their comments, right? Even by some of their comments, you can tell that they're not fans of the show. They're not. They're exposing themselves now. All the things that we said about them is true. They're not real fans. They never were. They didn't care about Doctor Who. They didn't care about anything. And now they're proving it. They're going and attacking the showrunner who probably gave us a new Who, gave us the best Doctor Who, but now they've decided to turn their attention on him. And anybody that supports him. What did I tell you? What did I tell you is on the stream today before I came in live to do these two streams? I said it. I had seen messages on Twitter that these Tassies were going to go and start harassing RTD and RTD stands. I fucking predicted it. Get away.
I'm surprised I don't talk about Peter Davison. I'm surprised I bet they probably hated him being in that episode.
No.
Right.
Someone should go and tell RTD now. Don't tell us, RTD. We did warn you.
Well, look, at the end
That's something else as well.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, this is why I didn't want RTD to open his mouth in the first fucking place. Right? Nobody listens to me. Whoa.
No, Jack's back in the thing.
He's already on fucking screen. What are you talking about?
I didn't see that. I'm pissed. What do you want from me?
Well, then just calm down, right? Jack.
No.
Jack, do you wanna add something to this? What do you think of this meltdown? It was predictable, wasn't it, man?
Yeah.
I mean, it just proves that they're not fans of the show. They're only fans of Jodie.
Yeah.
They just can't stand that a white male is back in the role. That's all they care about.
I'm not even a boastful person. I'm quite modest. I mean, that's just being British, I guess. But like, I like to see. We like these little victories. It's nice to say that we were right once in a while. Because look, with the whole. I mean, I hope they still do it properly. I can sort of agree with them to a point. But the whole regenerate into 14, well, it might be 14, regenerate into 10, and clothes regenerating as well. That's a first, usually. But there will be some explanation. So while they're all there kicking and screaming about the fact that an old doctor is back.
Well, they don't understand, though, the significance of that, though.
The anniversary, they're probably
but the significance of that, of her regenerating into Tennant has gone over their heads. Right? Yeah. The reason why it's gone over their heads is why is David Tennant back? I can explain it. It's obvious. I've said it just a few minutes ago. He wins every fucking poll when they do who's the best doctor. It's always between him and Tom Baker. It's always first and second between those two. Every year they do polls. It's always between those two. They brought him back because the show was on their knees. You don't need an explanation. That is the explanation. This show was on its knees, right? I believe Gary when he says it was being cancelled. Of course it was. Most people are saying it now. It was supposed to be cancelled. So yeah, to get fans back on board, right? Like I spoke about on the channel, bringing David Tennant back is a fucking clever move. You bring back the most popular doctor of the New Who era, which is him. Whether you think there's better doctors than him or not, the general consensus with the mass audience out there is that David Tennant is the best New Who doctor. That's why they brought him back, because he will boost the rating straight away, and he's hoping with the specials over a couple of episodes that RTD can win back this audience that it lost. Also introducing new fans to it that will actually care and respect the fucking fandom. Right, so Jack. That's the explanation, man. That's the explanation. And you needed to bring him back, because if they didn't, you don't bring Matt Smith. You bring Matt Smith back, this is not going to work. Right, you bring him back, it's not going to work. You even bring back, and Melina will give me stick for saying this, but it's the truth. You even bring back Peter Capaldi, this isn't going to work. You need someone that is popular, but it's the truth, Melina, and I'm not saying it out of badness.
No, I get it. I get it.
You need someone that's going to draw in the audience, and right now, David Tennant, since he's left Doctor Who, has done hit show after hit show. Right?
That's how it's about. It's more about the general audience. It's not just about what's powerful.
Exactly. Oh, I'm so sorry. Who was talking? It
was Jack, and then I think Wolf and the Storm hasn't spoken a while.
Go ahead. No. I was gonna say something. Go ahead.
But I just wanted Jack to kind of have his, because I know he needs to go, and I just wanted him to have his final say, because I Jack had me in stitches earlier on.
Sorry, I didn't know that, man.
Yeah,
did he leave a message? Okay,
he's there. He's still there, but he has such a finger on the pulse, I think, for a lot of the mainstream fandom. And he had us in stitches earlier on. So, Jack, ultimately, what did you think?
I mean, it just felt like, I don't know, like Noel says, it was obviously intended to be a last episode, like get the Daleks in, get the Cybermen in, do a whole homage to the classic Doctors, and then they just kind of added the regeneration in at the end. But I'm not going to lie, and I know this probably isn't but sticking to the 60th anniversary topic, I'm probably the only one on this panel who this is true for, but Tennant is my Doctor. And
Sam.
I'm not...
No, me too.
Awesome.
Right here.
Awesome. Yeah. But I don't like the idea of my Doctor being used just to bring in viewers. And I also don't like the idea that, and look, this is my personal opinion. You don't have to agree with me, but from what I've seen of Shooty, I'm not really excited about it. So it's almost like we'll bring him back for the 60th, and we'll try and get him back in, only to let him down again. And look, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but in my current mood, I'm just not excited for it, and I'm just worried that my Doctor is just being used as a way to say, look what we've got here, folks. Look
but I think the most important thing you need to understand, David Tennant knows he's being used. And David Tennant wants to be used because he loves the role.
He may know that, but at the end of the day, he's an actor. He loves the role and he loves working with Russell. I'm just saying my opinion. I don't like the idea that we are being nostalgia baited back into the show. I think that's a sign of despeраcy, and I think it's something that no one wants to talk about.
But we are in a desperate. We already know we're in a desperate situation, though.
We are in desperate.
So I don't think anybody's ignoring that, Jack. I think everybody knows that we're in desperate, and in desperate situations, desperate measures. And David Tennant is that desperate measure. And I know it sits uncomfortably with you, and I agree. You know, when you put it that way, it does sit a bit uncomfortable with me, thinking that this is just being used for bait. But if it works, then that's a different story.
Let Jack finish.
I'm just giving. I was just adding to what you were saying. You be quiet anyway. I was saying something. Right? Now Jack can say what he wants. All right, there was a gap there. I jumped in. Okay.
I know.
Go ahead, Jack.
I understand that completely. I worry that I don't want to be brought back in with this nice flavored ice cream that I used to remember, and then enjoy this brief moment of this takes me back, to then go into something that I then don't like. And that's what it feels like. It feels like it's being used as a transition period, but that doesn't necessarily mean what you transition into is going to be better. And everyone seems to just assume that, so this is where it gets good again. It might only get good for this because they're bringing Tennant and that back. And then the next thing, what we get after might be bad. And like Lee says, one clip of Shooty is enough to immediately make me go, no. That's what.
Oh my God, like what's going on? Like, oh my God.
At least he's wearing.
I didn't even think he sounded that bad, to be honest. I thought I quite liked it.
Someone in the chat.
I know you're all saying it sounds like it's sort of
Jack.
Didn't know what people were saying about the campiness. Some people actually disagree with you because I saw a couple of comments in the chat talking about that.
I don't care. I can only go by what I've seen.
No, it's fine. Look.
No, I agree with Jack. I agree with Jack.
I'm just going to put this in.
Go on.
We've had this before with the Day of the Doctor and the Time of the Doctor, though. And it went on to Peter Capaldi. Not a lot of people. I mean, Peter was great in season 8. I mean, Melina will say that. I watched it again. I thought Peter was great in series 8. But I thought series 8 kind of let the franchise down a bit.
Yeah.
But season 9, it picked up again. I mean, we just got to kind of go with the flow, if you know what I mean. If it's bad, then, walk away.
I know, but I'm just saying.
I hope lessons are learned. Sorry, Jack, go on.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. That's really all I have to say. Like,
it's all right, mate. You have your opinion. It's fine.
I've been debating whether I should even talk about it because this is always the argument it's going to get into. Well, we haven't seen it yet.
No, but I mean, the thing about it is, I think you're right to have that conversation, and I think these sort of debates are healthy and do need to be had. Jack, I don't think we should be shying away from that. I think you've brought up a very valid point that does need to be discussed, but you have to understand as well, people will understand your point of view, but there is another point of view that RTD will actually be able to pull it all off, including Shooty's era. But again, that one clip, I don't see what people see. I just say, as I've always said anyway, you've seen one little clip, but wait until we see a full episode, and then if it's not
like 2 seconds, I think that's all it was. Yeah. It's barely even 2 seconds.
So
that was enough for me. That's the trouble.
I think,
like you say, I'm going to wait and see. But it's just the state that everything that we've been through.
Yeah,
I'm just not in the mood to be let down again. So I have my guard up. Not because I want to be miserable, not because I want to be negative.
No.
I don't want to be negative at all. I'm not like one of these people who just hates things for the sake of hating it. I'm upset because,
I just can't let my inner child go through that again. Because I love Doctor Who. I lived and
I'm
breathed for
twice
it.
shy, yeah.
Well, you know what? I hope you don't go through what we went through, because that's exactly what this era did to us in our
But the
childhood.
thing is,
Was
and
smashed
what's
it.
different here for me personally is you got to remember the RTD era was my Doctor Who. You guys have got Classic Who in your own little bubble if things go badly. I haven't got that. If this goes, everything goes.
No, actually, you make a valid point there. I never thought of it that way. Yeah, actually, yeah.
This is
I
really,
understand with him because with
this
me and
is
Jack
really for
obviously are
me,
quite similar
like-
age. So with like I say, with us being similar age, we both grew up with New Who. You've got the benefit, I guess, benefit of the doubt of being in a different era, because your experience of the Doctor Who will be from a different time, where we were I guess born into this one. I wasn't quite. Well, I wouldn't have been old enough to have been watching Christopher Eccleston, but I did catch on towards the end of Series 4. And I remember just that how good life was to be a Doctor Who fan as a young kind of kid back then. And I think I'm with Jack there. You do sort of worry that
Because the thing is,
it's just.
I want to go back. Like, I'm at a time in my life, and I was going to bring this up earlier when you were talking about mental health, but I want to go back. I want to go back to seeing Doctor Who figures stacked up to the ceiling in Toys R Us. I want to go back to when I was genuinely excited for it to be on each week. I want that again. I need that again. And I just feel like RTD, with the stuff that he said and casting Ncuti Gatwa in the first place, call me whatever name you want. I don't care. For me, it just doesn't feel like it's going to work out. And I just feel like this 60th is a way to bring back the viewers that's been lost and say, right, now let's give them this instead. And I can't do it anymore. I wasn't that happy when it changed to Moffat, to be honest, because I loved RTD's first era so much. I don't handle change very well, to be honest. That's just the thing with me. With Classic Who, it's different because I went back to that. I went back and I discovered it and I fell in love with it. But for Doctor Who, the standard has always been Tennant. It's always been RTD's first era. So to tease me like that, to be like, RTD's coming back, it's going to be just as amazing as it used to be. And then all of a sudden, you get all these red flags and all these iffy things. And it's just like, I can't go through this disappointment again. It will kill the show dead for me. Just dead. I'll never want anything to do with it again. I might even sell all my merch. So this is where it is for me, and this is why I've kind of held back from talking about it, because I seem to have just broken the panel now.
I believe Jack is making so many valid points. I think you are. I think you're.
Jack is talking for a generation.
Yeah,
Jack is talking for a generation of people whose voices I believe are not being heard, and I think it's very important that this message is understood by BBC, by Bad Wolf, by Sony, by all these people, and by the reaction that we've seen by the Jodie stans who are just absolutely losing their fucking minds. RTD, you will never win. RTD, you will never win with these people. You'll never win. And if you keep listening, if you keep listening to this loud minority of voices, and I'm sorry, it's not diverse. Now, I hearken back to what PD Rich was saying earlier on about the diversity of the panel and of the audience and of the chat in this stream, that there is an awful lot of people who are disenfranchised by what's been happening over the last 5 years.
Yeah.
And if you're going to double down and maintain that, you're going to lose. You will lose, RTD, if you continue.
I actually can't believe. Jack has actually opened that up. He can actually lose the 2005 fans that he brought in originally. If he messes this up. Which would decimate, decimate the show completely, because they're the ones really that have kind of kept this era.
On top of it, it'll be personal, because RTD was my hero. I looked up to him. I loved him. And Look, I'm going to say two things before I go. One I need to say, but I'll just wrap up here by saying that, you know, if Shooty was cast now, it is what it is. And look, if he is a bit more camp and he is gentle, fine. Play to that. Make a good Doctor out of it. But please, because if I get just one episode where his race is brought up, or it's made an issue, or environment is an issue, or his sexuality is an issue, I'm gone. And you have to, and I want Russell to understand that. You parade yourself about going, oh, these things need to be talked about. Oh, this is bloody lovely. Like, I don't care, mate, because right now you are ticking me off. Right,
you're a legend.
Yeah, that's a good impression.
Bloody lovely.
What a fucking legend. Let him finish, though. This is comedy gold. Let him finish.
Yeah, he was on a good point there.
We want more Dark Russell.
Jack, you got to do Dark Russell.
I love to get all my viewers interested in the politics we talk
Jack,
about.
you've got to do this on your channel now. You've got to do comedy.
I've been telling him this.
Do it. You've got to do it.
If you want more Dark Russell, let us know in the chat.
I think you should do that as a comedy sketch. You showed Jordan this RPG.
Oh, bloody lovely.
I can do my best one, I think, is...
You'll make a killing.
My best one is, you can have all your TV shows sponsored by Cadbury's, but they won't be as good.
Jack, do your Dark Russell, like, but with
the PTSD.
Yeah, go on.
Okay, so he kind of changes. Hold on, so it's like,
and Terrence Dicks. Do your Terrence Dicks.
We're going to make this show to be inclusive. We're going to include all forms of audiences from all walks of life, except fucking conservatives. You can get out the fandom.
Do your Terrence Dicks.
Well, I'm here to say, Russell, that I think you've got this horribly wrong. I think if you tell the fandom that they can't come and watch your show because of what they believe, well, you've already failed.
I think that was even better.
I don't need to be told how to run my show. I'm RTD. You slap my name on the front cover, and if you want to come run in.
Hey, Jack. I want to say something before you go. Okay. This is coming from me now, from someone who is a massive David Tennant and Russell fan. I'm older than you. I'm the age of pretty much the rest of these guys. So if I had been living in the UK at the time, I probably would have started off with Classic Who. As it was, my introduction was Paul McGann in the movie, because living in the US at the time, we didn't have a lot of access unless you were a PBS hound. And otherwise, it was mostly just Tom Baker episodes really late at night. So I get it. Believe me, I understand. When Russell's era ended in 2010, it hurt me so deeply, that I barely even gave Matt Smith a chance. And by the time that Peter Capaldi came in, I couldn't do it anymore because I felt like I was watching out of obligation and nothing else. So my heart was so deeply broken. I have gone back and watched all the classic, and I just felt like in the other eras when they transitioned to new doctors and new production teams and new companions, it was smooth, but there was always somebody left over from the old era so that it wouldn't be such a wall between them.
But
there was always either a companion left or some other friends there or something that was familiar to help us to move on. Whereas with the Russell era, it was like when Moffat took over in that last scene when the TARDIS blew up and the corals came down, it was like a wall went up, and everything that came before felt like never happened. He even wrote it into the series itself when he first meets Amy, and she doesn't remember what literally had just happened with Gallifrey almost coming and taking the place of Earth, and she doesn't remember what happened in Stolen Earth. and Journey's End and the Daleks, and because they rebooted the Earth or some shit like that. It was like he was making it out like everything that had happened in Russell's era never happened.
And I hated him
for
it.
It was so jarring.
Yeah,
that I just couldn't.
Boy, I hate him.
So many, but so many of my friends stopped. They said, "This isn't our show anymore. We're not interested." And I understand why, because it was a reboot. Obviously, I was a hardcore fan, so I kept watching. But to be honest, I didn't like Matt Smith until he was practically leaving, and then I was like, "Oh, I just got."
Season 7.
I was kind of the same way, and it was harder for me because, I mean, season 5 wasn't that bad, but then I had to deal with an entire season of River fucking Song, and I was done. I was like,
By the way, I've got some huge news.
Scan her ass. So to have to watch an entire season dedicated to nothing but her, I was done. So
There's some,
I mean,
there's some
100%.
There's some huge news. There's some huge news, which are gonna fucking want to discuss. So RTD officially confirms that Ncuti Gatwa is the 15th Doctor, not the 14th.
Wow!
I told you that. I told you that. I sent in the
So I guess
comments
this regeneration counts, even if it is instigated by.
Yeah, hell yeah, absolutely.
So if he's the 15th Doctor, then Tennant is the 14th. How does that work? I just thought, oh, here we go again.
The big issue that I have with it is that you can bring back the whole former Doctors. I know everyone's saying, oh, but the 15th anniversary, they said, oh, the old faces and all that. But they never explained how that could happen, though. But if you're going to make it so that, if you're going to make it so that you can just bring any incarnation back, that ruins the whole value of regeneration. Regeneration is supposed to be right. This is it. That this is the last time. Well, unless they come back for a one-off special or something, this is supposed to be the last time. No, that Doctor is dying. It devalues the ending if you're just going to bring him back and say, oh well, you can be the for the 16th Doctor, Peter Davison's back. Tom Baker's the 18th Doctor again. Like it sort of devalues it. I feel like that's the only issue I have with it. If they can explain it in a decent way, I won't mind. But that's the only problem I have.
Well, he is the 14th Doctor. It's confirmed from Russell himself that David Tennant is the 14th, Ncuti is the 15th, and apparently as well, all the episodes that they're filming are actually not going to be spread out through the year. They're all going to be shown in November, but that's not official. That's just what's going around. So there's going to be lots to talk about. See, told you. RTD is only back a couple of hours now officially, and we're all ready. But Jack, I want to get your reaction to that. So obviously, David Tennant is now the 14th Doctor, and Ncuti is officially confirmed as the 15th. What do you think about that?
Well, I don't know what to say really. I'm just confused. And I think it's kind of silly. I've never liked it when they messed around with the numbers. I wasn't keen when they did it with the War Doctor, to be honest, I think.
Yeah.
And so does the Doctor have unlimited lives, or has he just got another 13? It just seems like a big waste of a life. And it's like,
well, you remember when the Doctor lost his hand, and after Captain Jack had finished playing around with it, I made sure that when the Doctor's regeneration energy went into the jar, grew another Doctor, because I could do whatever I like.
Yeah, I mean, it's like even you could understand it. You could understand it with the War Doctor, just a one time. But it's a trend now. They keep adding new ones. Now it's the Fugitive Doctor. Now it's this.
I'm sick of it! Jumping the fucking shark. Okay, look, enough. Okay, this started with Moffat, right? The whole War Doctor nonsense, and now we've got Chibnall and his.
Please don't bash on my Moffat. Can you please don't bash on my Moffat? I'm a Moffat.
No, but he was responsible. Like it should have been the 8th Doctor, not this War Doctor.
Que me importa un bicho. Like what I'm. Me importa
monstro.
I get that he couldn't have
Chupacabra
the way he wanted. But instead of creating a completely new Doctor out of whole cloth, like you said, Lee, it should have just been the 8th Doctor. If any one of them should have been the Time War Doctor, it should have been the 8th Doctor. That was evident.
Hell yeah!
In that 7-minute short Night of the Doctor, like I've always said, he did more for the character of the Doctor in 7 minutes than Moffat did in 6 fucking years. I'm sorry.
I
I'm not
will
trying
say-
to down Peter or Matt, but that just proves that he should be in the 50th.
I mean, if you guys have seen my doctors ranked, I have McGann quite high considering he only appeared twice.
Permiso.
But
Yeah, go and watch
I'm
that
just-
video with me and Jack on drawing Jack Rabbit on his
But,
channel. One word, drawing Jack Rabbit.
I've really got to bounce now, guys. So before I go, I just want to say, because I was going to say
You
this
are
earlier,
fantastic.
but I just never got the chance. Noel, thanks for giving me the chance to come on your channel, and thanks for doing that mental health stream all those years ago. Because even though I've never engaged in any of this Twitter drama with the fandom, I had a lot of stuff going on in my personal life, and you introduced me to Lee, and Lee reached out, and we've become practically best mates. And dare I say it, I might not still be here if it weren't for Lee, because he's been there for me, and you've been there for me, and this is such a great community. And Melina, God love you. I know you've been through so much, but you might not remember this, but last year when we did a Halloween stream, we watched Halloween Kills. I was having a bad evening, and you counseled me, with everything that you were going through. You still did that, and I really hope you and Lee can get back to just doing some cool stuff again.
Me too.
I'm glad to see you back. I'm glad to see you better. And
I want that, Melina, please.
So
I've messaged you on Messenger, and I want you to. I know you got problems with your infrastructure over there, but I'm here. I am here. I'm still fucking here. And it takes two to tango, bitch. Come and speak to me. I love you.
So yeah, we're still good, Melina. I don't care about any of the disagreements or the arguments. I never was involved in any of it anyway. But if, like I say, if you ever want to be on a stream, just let us know. And Noel, I just want to say thanks for having me on, because with my struggles, I struggle to talk to people face to face, let alone on the internet. And I got a little bit heated tonight, so I kind of panicked and I left stupidly. But thanks for having me back and for giving me the chance to talk. And just thanks for all of you for being so accepting and,
No worries.
for everything. So, yeah, just thanks for everything.
Jake, you can always give me a shout if you get
You're
stuck.
a legend. You made me laugh tonight, Jack. So if you can make me laugh, you've already won me over anyway. But Jesus, those accents, you've kept them a fucking secret.
Guys, before you go, Jack, can you do a Noel impersonation?
Oh,
can we have ones in the
You know what? In all the good spirit of the panel and everything that we've done over the last 5 years, I give you permission to rip the piss out of me. Go for it.
And can I say in the chat, if you want more Dark Russell or more impersonations, can we have ones in
Jack
the chat?
is about to do
say,
an Irish
yes.
impression of me, which is going to be
Okay,
great.
this is Jack's Noel impression. It cracks me up.
Yeah, well, look, half my family's Irish, so I do hear it quite a lot. But look, I'm not really that great, but it's fine.
I'll bring him in.
I'd like to thank you for having me on the stream. Please like, share, and subscribe. And be sure to check out my other videos and follow me on Twitter. So
Do you know what? That's actually pretty fucking because I was listening to myself back and I said to Cheryl, do I sound that awful? And he has it right, man. Do it again. Go on, keep going.
So yeah, make sure you subscribe to Cinnamon, whatever the fuck your name is.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Get that through your thick skulls. Subscribe to the TARDIS Zone.
And let's just hope that the show is in a better place so we can all get together and party and party.
He does an impersonation of me as well.
Oh, let me get this straight, though. Let me get this straight. So you and Lee have been behind the scenes and you've been ripping the piss out of me all this time. Is that what you're telling me?
No, he does an impersonation of me as well. All right?
Go on. I want to
make
hear
that
this. But do finish me. Are you finished with me? Is that it?
Yeah, I think I'm done. I'm done.
You can do an impersonation of me versus Noel.
I don't think. Can you do an impersonation of me? Do you dare?
Well, you'll have to give him. You'll have to give him a bit of time to get practicing these things. I bet he's been practicing my one for. No, actually, he didn't have. You don't have to practice mine. Mine is quite simple. Like, you know, just talk like that. Like, you know.
I can't do your Jodie voice though. It destroys my vocal cords. I don't know how you do it.
Oh yeah. That was.
I have sampled that, by the way. So,
No.
yeah.
Can you say tomatoes for me, please?
It's
tomatoes.
Tomato.
Tomato.
Right, do Jack, before you leave, you have to actually. You can't leave here without doing Leno, right?
What? Not.
I mean, you can't. Sorry, I'll rephrase that. You can't leave without doing your voice impression of me. Holy shit! For fuck's sake, we all have dirty minds on this channel.
Wait, hold on.
That's Melina. You know Melina is back, don't you? You know Melina is back, don't you? When yeah, thinking dirty Melina. You're back to normal again. We are. Look at. There we go. Anyway.
Melina, he's double my age.
Is someone still trying to do me?
No, sorry.
What?
Oh, for fuck's sake. You're dirty. You're dirty minded. That's why you're laughing. Nobody else is laughing. Control yourself. Go on, do Lee, will you? I mean, do the voice impression of Lee.
Dirty, a lot of you. Absolutely filthy.
It's too late. He can't do it. Bye.
The pressure's on him. Oh, you ruined the pressure's on him.
No, Jack. No, Jack is not giving us a laugh and a half. He has to do Lee. If he's gonna fucking obliterate my accent, he's gonna fucking obliterate yours. Right?
Keep talking and it won't happen. That's good.
Did you want some chicken?
Roast chicken.
Roast chicken.
Trouble is,
for sure, like Cheryl.
I can't think of anything to talk about. These sanctimonious people who come on here and tell me how to live my life.
You're a bit lower pitched, but yeah,
brilliant. What I love about it is he actually uses the sentences that we use, which makes it even better. I love it. Keep going.
Sanctimonious. Yeah, no.
Bye, Jodie. Not going to miss you, just like the rest of the
fandom.
Oh,
my God, yeah, I'm reiterate now.
Oh God, jeez, I haven't loved as much in ages.
Lee, will you stop speaking out a term? I'm trying to get the rest of the panel to have a chance at speaking.
Oh, shut up, Noel. I'm here. Deal with it.
Oh, brilliant, Jack. Oh, someone should clip that shit. Someone should actually I'm gonna clip all of that shit later on, man. That is fucking. You have to clip that shit, man. That is funny. Oh,
you sanctimonious bastard. Yeah, no. Yeah, no.
I just lost my packet of minis.
By the way, before you go, Jack, give me your rating for the fucking episode, and all you idiots as well forgot to give you a rating too.
I did what I think of it,
and PD didn't get a chance. PD hasn't even got
what happened.
Poor God-forsaken lads has had to wait 3 hours to get his opinion in. Anyway, Jack, before you do go, do you want to give your rating and do your shout-outs? Or are you hanging on for a few more minutes?
Do it in Noel's voice or mine.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Why not? Hold on, Ted. I'll pick you up.
I have to say, I'd give it a 3 out of 10. Not very good. No. In fact, I've tasted better chicken marinated in Jack Daniels than I've watched this fucking episode.
Everyone should do it in Irish accent now.
All right,
everyone give it a go.
I don't give a fuck.
Royce.
No, don't even try it, Lee. You're bad. The rest of them.
Oh God, no.
I'm fabulous.
Melina would do a better Irish accent than you would. I mean, she could say,
"Hey,
here, Melina, I've got something to say to you. Get out of my dreams, get into my car."
That sounds really creepy, Noel.
Yeah.
It's a song. It's a song. Excuse me.
I know.
But then you're gonna have to
creepy.
cancel.
It's still
You're gonna have to.
creepy.
Then you're gonna have to cancel Billy Ocean, right? 'Cause they're his words,
I
not
love
mine.
Billy Ocean. Look. He did Moonlighting, the theme to Moonlighting. I know Billy. No, that was creepy. That was creepy. Carry on.
By the way, it wasn't. But go ahead.
Oh, it was Gerard, wasn't it? Al Gerard's. Sorry. All right.
Right, so Jack hanging around
Well, it
while
was still
PD gives
creepy.
his opinion, or is Jack leaving
Still
and doing his
creepy.
shout outs? I'm still kind of. Shut up, Willie! I'm trying to fucking find out something here.
Creepy! Okay.
I don't know.
By the
Right,
way-
Jack, what are you doing? Are you hanging on while PD gives his opinion, or are you heading off, mate?
I'm heading off, so I'll just
Right, do your shout outs.
Good night, Jack.
Good
Oh
night.
my
You had a
God,
lot of
hasn't-
ones in there. We want more
my
Dark
God.
Russell and
He
more
hasn't even-
Noel and more me.
Yeah. Listen, he hasn't even done his fucking rating yet. Will you let him fucking do his
Yeah.
rating before he say goodbye to the chat?
He said 3. 3.
Overall,
3.
I give it a 3 out of 10.
Right.
It had some
3.
good things in there, but it was mostly just baiting some older stuff. And
Right.
to be honest, the regeneration was the best bit, only because it was Tennant at the end.
Right.
But yeah, what can I say? 3 out of 10
Channel
for
shout
me.
out.
And good riddance to bad rubbish. I have a YouTube
Yes.
channel, Drawing Jackrabbit, where I do artwork, action figure reviews, and soon-to-be podcasts. You can go check that out. You can follow me on Twitter at JackMain13 if you want to see some artwork, and Instagram, JackNibletMain. Don't ask why it's called that, but that's where I post most of my artwork.
Right.
And can
Thank you,
can
Jack.
we have ones in the chat again? Ones in the chat again for Jack doing a whole new channel of Dark Russell. Put your ones in the chat.
As long as you do the deep fake for him.
Actually, I would actually add on to that.
Yeah,
but
hell
if you'd like to hear him actually do slag me off on his channel, please press 2.
Oh, that's coming.
Because the Irish accent was actually pretty impressive. And
Thank
I wouldn't
you.
mind a whole series of people ripping the piss out of me. Why not? You can
Sure,
have
collab.
fun.
There you go. Look, Jack.
No,
look at the
your
chat.
catchphrase is the best. It's all rumor and speculation.
Speculation. Take it with a pinch of salt.
And ending every
Take it with a
sentence
pinch of
with
salt.
the right. Ending every
Royce.
sentence with the right.
Royce.
Right.
Right.
Okay, folks, right, stop taking the piss now. Let PD Rich talk, will you? Fuck's sake, let's get some perspective here and stop slagging me off now for 2
I'm in
seconds.
charge. I'm in charge.
Perspective.
Okay,
I
thanks.
can't say any words, right? Because I got smacked by a bus, you fucking Aegis. So shut up.
Smacked.
It smacked me right in the nasher. All right, I'm still here. Listen, J-Bots, this is one thing you have to understand. I got hit by a bleeding bus. I got hit by a car. I've had a hate campaign for the last 5 years. I've had this strike to take me out, take me down, and I'm still standing here. When he's going to get through his our heads, they just can't go and fucking take down someone that's untakeable down, or whatever the fucking word I'm trying to use. I'll fuck it up.
I get
Anyway.
knocked down, but I get up again. Ain't nobody
You should actually do that. Actually, that would be brilliant. But listen, let's get PD Rich in finally.
Oh,
Come on,
God.
come on. 3 hours in. Let's finish
Well
in
done,
the next
well
half
done,
century.
Jack.
3 hours
Well
in,
done,
man.
Jack.
Oh,
Yeah.
Kudos.
What can I really say about this? You know, it's like if you remember Star Trek Into Darkness. This is probably the Doctor Who version of Star Trek Into Darkness with a very, very good ending. It's probably the only way I can really describe it totally. It's like it was a complete cluster. To me, it just felt like it was bits of flux just shoved into an episode. But I did enjoy the companions coming back. I enjoyed seeing Tegan and Ace again. Sorry, I'm from a bit of a hangover at the moment. Enjoyed seeing Tegan and Ace.
I'm getting there.
Oh, I know. And I definitely loved that regeneration. It's been the best and the most wanted regeneration I've ever seen. I've had to say that. I've had doctors I didn't want to see go, but this one I just wanted to see go. As I said, it did explain itself. I think Sasha did a good part in this one. But one of the things that kind of annoyed me is that Lethbridge Stewart didn't join the brig as a cyber lady. That kind of annoyed me because I wanted to go off and meet Daddy, Cyber Daddy. Yeah, and I didn't like him destroying Rusty as well, so it annoyed me as well. But I give it 10 Chibnall poopy shits out of 10.
You're rating earlier on because I threw it up on the screen. You did the poopy,
which results to a 5 because I really, 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 really enjoyed that regeneration.
Yeah.
And you play back the watch along, you will hear how much I enjoyed that regeneration.
Yeah. In fairness, right, her acting in the scene is terrible, but the actual regeneration energy coming out of her when they do that far away shot where she's on that cliff is actually spectacular. But again, as Lee has said about this whole era from the very beginning, you can't polish a turd, and they polish this even harder than most turds that they've thrown out over the last 5 years. But this was really impressive visually. It's just visuals are not everything though, and there should be more. Listen, I can tell you now, and I think I can speak for most Doctor Who fans when I say this. We honestly don't give a shit about CGI, right? Or how good or bad it looks. Doctor Who has always had a history with either good CGI or very bad CGI. The thing that has attracted us to this show is the writing, is the character development. This is what you need to go back to. You go back to that, right? You will have a winning formula. It's as simple as that. It's not rocket fucking science. Like, you don't need to be Albert Einstein or Sherlock Holmes to figure this shit out. It's right there in front of you. We fans are telling you what you need to do to rectify this situation. And it's not even that hard. All we're asking for is for proper characters that we could fall in love with again, characters that we can hate, characters that we can, devastate when they leave, all the type of emotions that you can go through. That's what we want. But we want good stories too. Because without you
Isn't it interesting?
Yeah.
Isn't it interesting how they ended the regeneration, like the meme that went around for the last couple of years?
Yeah.
The one where she's on the edge of a cliff and arms out, Jesus Christ, like how accurate was that? It was so spot on. It's like they knew. It's like they seen that meme and went, "Yeah, that's how we're gonna do it."
Which is a lot. So just to clarify, though, that's considered a not my doctor symbol because that's what it has.
Good.
So
she's not my doctor.
So he basically not only did he not give you his Tasman, but basically he says, "Oh yeah, here, this is for the not my doctors too."
Yeah. The Mecronon in the chat says, "I found it strange then that Jodie regenerated. The clothes regenerated as well." He says that never happens. You're wrong because it did happen between the first Doctor and the second Doctor.
Yeah.
The second Doctor regenerated with his new clothes. But it's the first time it's happened since then. But I found that interesting, and I think if they don't address that in the 60th, it will be interesting. I want to know how and why that happened, and if this harkens back to the first and second Doctor's regeneration. But I just want to emphasize again, once more, that Chibnall absolutely avoided any fucking doubling down or tripling down or any other down on the Timeless Child arc. It was not addressed at all.
I know
during
why.
this.
I know why.
What
because Russell was stood next to him. He said, "If you even dare go there, you're gonna wake up and regret it."
He's added a comment there. He says, but not according to the books.
Yeah, I can talk. Yeah, because it's like in that episode, the show did the regeneration going over the claws. The first and second
I'm afraid
it wasn't really in the universe canon, was it? It was just so happened that they didn't think.
Yeah, according to the books, though, Thremix was responsible for the invention of regeneration, and that was not introduced in this era either. So, yes, it was not in the books, but then again, Chibnall did not mention Thremix, who was also responsible for regeneration energy in the books as well. So, canon be damned, according to Chibnall. So I think we can entirely discard the entire Chibnall era.
I think this is what that episode was. It was like, take it as it is, and then you can move on and take it as you want. And that's what I get from it. And this is how I'm going to take it. Like everybody on the panel, we're going to forget about this era. It's going to be it's going to be this thing that we will all remember. But this is the thing when people say we won't remember. Of course we will, because of the abuse and the harassment and all the other stuff. We will remember this era for a very long time to come. We won't forget, but we can move on, right? And the thing about it is, I think it has been left to the audience to decide, well, is this canon in your head or is it not canon? And you can choose, and a lot of fans already did. They chose to not accept this era as canon, and that's the way it will be. And that'll be another meltdown eventually when that realization comes that it's going to be a fresh start, and basically this will be ignored. Then that's what I mean. That's another.
I would be interested to hear like how successful Jodie Whittaker's Big Finish stories will be on. I think that will be very telling, actually, and how long her run on Big Finish runs for, how popular her run actually is, and if these fans actually stick around and pay money to actually spend on Jodie Whittaker and actually see hear more stories from.
They'll take the free stories of Jodie's ones that because Big Finish do the odd free stories. When she starts, they'll get the free stories and then claim, well, I read this story, but like they probably haven't read the rest of them. Look, at the end of the day, they've already proved they don't buy the merch.
No, they don't. They don't even buy the plastic fucking toys that will end up in landfill because, after all the preaching about the global environment and the climate change, is that, let's be honest, after that shit show of Awful 55, I call it, Awful 55, where they preach to us about the dangers of the environment, and all these Jodie Whittaker toys, including the Jodie Whittaker doll, the figurine, the figure, the action figure, the Yaz figure, and all the rest of it, I've been to my local shop that sells these things, and they're all there unsold in their masses, to be sold in the bargain basement of history. And I think it's quite interesting. What are they going to say about how many Jodie Whittaker toys, plastic toys, are going to be in the landfill over the next few years? And the Mecronon says, let's see what the overnight ratings have to say. And I think, yes, as much banter and chit-chat there is on social media and Twitter, particularly over this episode, will it translate into actual viewing figures for the BBC? And will people actually watch the regeneration on YouTube in their masses more than they will actually tune in to the iPlayer? That will be very interesting. I'll be very keen to see what happens.
I've got to head now, guys, but thanks for having me on.
No problem, Jack. We're going to be wrapping up now as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to go around the panel and get you a rating for the episode. So who hasn't given their rating for the episode? Speak up now.
None of us.
You all have. Would you like to just refresh my memory, because a lot's gone on tonight? So if everybody, Real Super Doctor, what did you rate it out of 10?
I would rate it a 4 out of 10. I mean, for the cameos, at least it was something we got back. I quite enjoyed the cameos, and that was just about it. Right. Sacha Dhawan's performance and that, and David Tennant in the end. And that was it.
Cinnamon.
Probably 7. My favourite out of the Chibnall era, that is, anyway.
Fantastic. 7 out of 10. Wolfenstorm. The Wolf and the
I
Storm.
would give it a solid 5 for the classic doctors, classic companions. Extra points for David.
Yeah, amen to that.
And PD, you gave it Chibnalls, didn't you?
I gave it 10 Chibnall shits that turned into 5.
Sorry, Wolf and Storm, you are. It's just the audio was very bad. You were saying something else right at the end there before I jumped to PD. What was that?
I said extra. I gave it a couple extra points there. It would have been lower, but I gave it a couple extra points for David. Of course, because it's David.
Yeah.
Amen to that.
And this was the first time in a long time that I've seen the Cybermen be properly scary. So I will give them that.
Okay.
I haven't seen really freaking scary in a long while. They got really good.
Even though they couldn't shoot for shit.
The voice was different, wasn't it?
No problem. Probably just give us your rating, mate. You don't have to go on another rant now. Come on, it's 3 hours and 20 minutes now.
It was the stormtroopers from Doctor Who with the Cybermen. They couldn't shoot for shit. Okay. I really thought David Tennant would be back with a Scottish accent, given the fact he was wearing tartan, but I was wrong, so fair enough. I think the most impactful scene of that entire run was Sylvester and Ace. That was the only thing that I gleaned any sort of satisfaction from. But again, it's marred by association with this era. There was really nothing in terms of story, character development, or anything in this shit show that actually warranted it. I can only give my points to Sylvester and Ace for that moment, and even slightly less, I'd say, the Tegan and the Fifth Doctor moment. It just felt. I felt manipulated by that. Very manipulative. I think this entire episode is highly manipulative. It didn't make sense. I thought Sasha's performance was the best performance of the Master.
I just wanted a rating, man.
Shut the fuck up. I'm giving my fucking rundown. Shut the fuck up.
You already gave your rundown. I just wanted a rating so we can all go to fucking bed.
I'm giving you... Shut up.
Fuck's sake, man. Everybody else is quick. You get to you, it's like fucking slow me, driving me
Everyone wants
off.
to hear my drunken fucking bullshit. Okay. So ultimately, given I will give a point to Ace, the Seventh Doctor. I'll give a point. Shut up! I'll give a point to Sasha's performance of Nard, even though he's far too cute and nice to be the Master. And the point to Tennant. So I'll give it 3 out of 10.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, move on.
Melina, if you can keep it shorter and sweeter than him, you're a hero.
Short and sweet.
Und less fat, under 5 words,
Shit, man.
preferably.
What is that? Are you not allowed to use short and sweet anymore? Is that offensive now, is it? Oh, for fuck's sake. Jesus Christ. You can't say ba black sheep anymore either. For fuck's sake. What the fuck is going on with this world? Anyway, Melina, you're rating when you stop laughing, please. It's only ba black sheep, for fuck's sake. Come on.
I actually don't know. I really don't know. I can't come up with a rating right now. Maybe
10.
Make it a 5.
Give
Double
it
story.
A 5.
Left.
I think I don't know. I really don't know. I because I think Call Me Crazy. Maybe it's better than Flux. It's not still not a great episode.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to add the points, but what helps was what the Wolf and the Storm said, that extra points because of David Tennant. So let's give it a what about a flat 5.5? 5.5.
That's fair. Meet it in the middle, yeah.
Right, Jack, you once again give us your rating and we'll finish up with you, so go for it, pal.
Well, I've changed my mind. I think I'll give it a 4 because, like Wolf of Storm said, extra points for Tennant. And if I were to do, if I never will do this, but if I were to do a top 5 Chibnall episode, this would be in the top 5.
Right.
It's at least something that you can watch. So yeah, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10.
Fantastic. Right. Can everybody do their channel shout? So we start.
I've already
with Real
done
Super
mine,
Doctor.
so I'm
We'll
good.
do them again. Real Super Doctor.
Drawing Jack Rabbit.
Real Super Doctor.
I've got a channel on YouTube under Real Super Doctor, and I've got a Twitter account under Real Super Doctor.
Fantastic. Cinnamon Jodie's toast. There you go. Got it right at the end. Go.
Well, I've got a Twitter account. It's just Brandon Beckett. I do have a YouTube account. I'm probably going to rebrand it to the Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and I'll probably start uploading some content on there. Probably next year. I think I'll probably get into it. Yeah.
Fantastic. The Wolf in the Storm.
You guys can always find me on Twitter at WolfandStorm78, and of course on YouTube, The Wolf and the Storm. As always.
Fantastic. PD.
You can normally find me hanging around in Rabbi's chat, and also from earlier, subscribe to Gobby Guy's channel.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Melina. I'm only messing Lee.
Wait a minute. The fuck? The hell? Seriously? What the hell?
Go ahead, mate. Go ahead.
Oh, me. Okay.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
Okay, so yeah, you can find you won't find me on Twitter because they're a bunch of homophobic anti-Semites, basically. But you can find me. You can find me on Instagram at Audred Audiovisual.
Brilliant.
AUDRED Audiovisual. Audiovisual is one word. Shut up. And that's the same for YouTube as well.
Can I just say one last thing? That's quite important.
No. Yes.
Who's that?
Me, Cinnamon.
Right. Just wait for a second. We got 2 more people to go, and then you can
Cinnamon
say whatever you
Jodie's
need
Club.
to say. Melina, you're back. I don't know if you're back fully, but if you want to shout out a channel or a channel that you're going to appear on, or if you want to shout out your social medias, no pressure. You can do whatever you want to do right now. This is your moment. Go ahead.
It's okay. I don't know if I'm fully back. Just that. Sorry for the details, but I go to work, and then after that I go to therapy every day. So it's been taking half of my social life. You can say. But I'm on Twitter. You can still find me on Twitter under my same name, Melina Vader. I don't know what I'm gonna do with my YouTube, but it's also there. But I'll do my best to go back with friends and whatever. But yeah, yeah, you can find me on Twitter, and if you want to message me, that's fine. I might not answer right away, but I appreciate it anyways, and thank you.
Fantastic. Jack.
Yeah, I'll just be around. Like I say, probably don't look for me because I don't really want to be found right now. But yeah.
In fairness, Lee, you are doing so well there, man. You were doing so well. You couldn't even last people.
I wanted to do it in the RTD voice, please.
I've got an announcement to make. Let
Jack finish his challenge.
He's already finished, you fucking lunatic.
RTD voice.
Oh, do it. Just do it in the RTD voice. People want to go to bed. All right. So let me make some. There's TARDIS merch now. Yeah. There's a link in the on the channel. Oh, for fuck's sake! I want to go to bed. Everybody wants to go to bed, Lee. Come on.
Let Jack do his channel.
Jack, do it. Just do it.
My YouTube channel is Drawing Jack Rabbit. If you want to see shit YouTube content, go there. Right? I have a Facebook account, but it's private, so you can stay away.
Right now, he's at the doing it now. I've got some merch. Right, the link is where all your links on the yoke thing. Because he's at to annoy me now. I'm just look. It's done now. We're done. I'm tired. I'm out. I'll let Cinnamon say what he has to say, and we're getting the feck out of here. So, Cinnamon, what was your last word? Because Jack needs to go, and I need to go.
Right.
So.
I just wanted to dedicate the stream to somebody because we've all been here for a long time. 5 years of frustration and hurt a lot first. But at the end of the day, we're now on the other side of it. Now we can look forward. But one person who wasn't able to see the end of it was Alpha.
Oh,
so I wanted to dedicate this stream to him.
Yeah, we got there, mate.
Thank you.
So
Actually,
this stream is for you, mate.
We got there. We
Alpha
finally made it.
Omega, you live. Alpha Omega lives.
Avon lives.
We miss you. We miss you, man.
We do,
miss you,
man.
We
We
all
do.
yeah.
We actually do, man. Every day. But we know you're looking down and you're keeping an eye on us, and you know, just
For
wish we
all
could have
time's
just
sake.
had a chance.
Cheers,
to take the
Alpha.
photos. But that's it. Yeah,
Alpha
look,
Omega.
no one going to downy, but this is it. This is it now,
Yeah.
folks. We've got one more stream on this topic. Everybody that didn't get a chance to come on, the likes of Charlotte, and there'll be other people coming on as well to give their opinion, and then that's it. We're done. We're done.
yeah.
It's done. Bookmarked, bookended here, and we move on. It's full of
She's
RTV.
fucking dead.
The doctor.
Oh, God, she's generated.
She
Anyway.
died.
I just want to thank the 110 people that tuned in for the first stream, and I want to thank I think we had at our peak 60 people here, so I want to thank you also for being here. I want to thank every single guest that I had on. There's too many of you, so you know who you are. Some of you are here right now, so thank you very much, and to the Gobby guy and everybody else that turned up.
Wow.
Thank you very much. I don't know what the fuck that was in the background, but I'm going to end the stream now before someone. I'm going to end the stream now before someone gets murdered, and we all have to sit here and be witnesses. So I'm out of here. Hold on there. I have to get rid of the banner. But yeah, there you go. But thank you again. It's been a journey. We finish it up midweek with the final stream, and then we're done. But thank you for tuning in tonight. I'm sure we'll all digest this madness tonight and have a couple of days to reflect. And then on Wednesday,
Yeah, I might need some Gaviscon after this episode. But hey.
well, with all the alcohol you drank, I think you definitely need some Gaviscon.
I think I earned it. I deserved it.
And maybe some heavy fucking strong coffee. Mate, get that into you.
No coffee is going to wipe this shit away.
Yeah. Anyway, Lee will look back on this stream with total dread. I will look back on this stream with laughter because that.
I need a bath to wash off the
So,
stench
Jack,
of the
do you know what, Jack? Do you know what, Jack? As you did the Irish voice, and I was so impressed, you're going to do the outro, right? Tonight. So you're going to finish the show the way I would finish the show. So, Jack, hit it, then I'll do the trailers, but do what I normally do. So go ahead.
Oh, by the way, Jack did a brilliant fucking horror Halloween night thing. He did a drawing of you.
It's not ready. It's not ready, Lee. Shut up. Shut up.
Oh, yeah.
Don't spoil it. It's coming. It's coming.
Spoilers.
Spoilers. Coming. It's coming. It's coming. It looks fantastic.
You're an idiot. You need to stop drinking right now. You just ruined the surprise, you little fool.
We're sobered up.
It's amazing. I'm just bigging him up. What the fuck do you want?
Okay, but you don't need to big him up. You don't need to big him up because
You haven't seen it. I have. I'm
You just
saying.
stole his moment from him. You just I hope you're proud of yourself.
Because nothing I say will prepare you for how fucking base it is.
Bill Volume
It's fucking
3's coming
amazing.
All right. Anyway, Jack, whatever's going on, we will look forward to actually seeing. I'm sorry that Lee spoiled it for you. but,
Shut up! Don't make me feel bad. Stop it.
Right, but that's the point of it. But go ahead, Jack. I'll leave you have the last word.
Okay, so I'd like to thank all of the viewers who came to watch the stream. If you liked what you see, don't forget to leave a like, obviously, and a comment, and share the video. And yeah, I really need to get off to bed. Ted is chewing me foot, and Cheryl is waiting. So thank you ever so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.
Thank you, all right.
Yeah.